On the forest road of Taiwan High School campus, the air was filled with the sweet fragrance of osmanthus, and the sound of the balls coming from the far-flung arena. Yizhen walked towards the classroom with her book bag on her back and stepped on the familiar stone bricks, calculating what to eat for lunch today. She is an ordinary girl in the second year of high school. She has achieved the upper and lower grades and has few friends. She always feels like an inconspicuous tree in the campus, so ordinary that her shadow is blurred. "Oh, it's another day," she murmured in a low voice and pushed open the classroom door. The classmates in the class chatted in groups of 3 or 5, and when Xiao Xian saw her, she excitedly slapped her hands. "Yi Zhen, come here." Xiao Xian is her dead party, her hair is erect and her eyes are shiny, like a battery that is always full of electricity. Yizhen smiled and took her over and sat down. "What's so exciting? Are you recruiting new people in the chat club again?" Xiao Xian said, "Yes. The visitor will hold an off-campus backpacking event this year. He heard that he would go to the mountains in Ilan to explore. It's super exciting. Don't you consider joining? Didn't we say we wanted to be adventurers together when we were young?" Yizhen slammed her head and poked the book with a wry smile. "Me? Let's forget it. What if a girl like me who stays at home reading books gets lost when she goes out?" Xiao Xian curled her lips. "You underestimate yourself too much. Come on, social life is interesting, and it is guaranteed to make you extraordinary." Yizhen's heart warmed. Xiao Xian always felt like summer ice cream, melting her hesitation. But she still denied it. "Next time, I'm afraid of dragging my back." As the lunch break sounded, Yizhen walked to the library by herself, and suddenly a strange picture flashed through her brain. The gray sky, rain water drifted down the basin. She stood at the entrance of the school gate, her hands were empty, soaked like a soup dumpling. The classmates around her hurriedly left, and she could only hide under the house in a wolf. The picture is so clear, like a movie trailer, making her heart beat faster. What a ghost. Are you dreaming? She rubbed her eyes and looked up at the sky. The blue sky and white clouds were not the shadow of rain. But I just told her that this was not an illusion. She took a moment of hesitation, then turned back to the classroom, and flipped out the old raindrop that her mother had stuffed to her last time, and stuffed it into her bookcase. Xiao Xian saw her like this and blinked. "What's wrong with you today? Is it going to rain?" Yizhen smiled embarrassedly. Just in case you're going to be there." Xiao Xian laughed loudly. "Have you turned into a detective? It's fun." The last class in the afternoon ended and the sky really sank. The rain hit the window glass, like countless small drums beating. When school was over, the school gate was in a group, and classmates screamed and pushed towards the bus station. Some forgot to bring their robes and some shared raincoats. Yizhen was cheering up the rain, walking across the crowd, and the rain jumped on the face, making the mood buzzing. She heard the shock of her classmates behind her. "Wow, Yizhen, how did you know it will rain? It's amazing." A boy patted her on the shoulder. "It's so bad, you are a prospector. Lend me to hold it." Yizhen slapped her face, but a warm current surged in her heart. No one usually pays attention to her, but today it has become the focus. This feeling is like drinking a cup of hot chocolate, sweet and refreshing. She thought to herself, maybe, am I not that ordinary? After the rain stopped, the campus announcement column was filled with people. On the new day of the group recruitment, the staff of the community are very popular. The members of the group are wearing camouflage vests and shouting, "Join us and conquer the mountains and forests." Yizhen originally wanted to pass by, but the brain flashed through the screen again. The crowds of people in front of her were flooding, and some people fell down, and the drinks were all over the place, and the registration table was trampled. She was stunned, her heartbeat accelerated. Is this ability real? She took a deep breath and walked across the main path, approaching the pedestal from the side. Sure enough, just as the crowd was pouring, a boy accidentally kicked over the chair and the drink bottle fell off, and everyone was in a group. Yizhen took the opportunity to step forward, picked up the registration form, and smiled and said to the social school student, I want to join the exploration club. I heard that you have backpacking adventures, and I really want to try it. The sister wiped her sweat and looked at her in surprise. How do you avoid those troubles? The weather is so good. Come on, fill in the form. Why do you want to join? Yizhen flashed his mind, and knew that the community needed new blood in the picture. She straightened her waist, because I want to challenge myself. When I was a child, I dreamed of going to explore the story. Now in high school, it was the time. The sister's eyes lit up. Wow, this warmth. Welcome, Yizhen. Our society lacks girls with dreams like you. The members around the world also applauded, and someone shouted, New blood is here. Xiao Xian appeared at some point and hugged her excitedly. Great. I knew you would join. Yizhen pushed her with a smile. Don't be so arrogant, just think. My heart was overturned. This ability to know has made me transform from a viewer into a player. The pleasure arose naturally, and she felt like she was sacking the fetus and changing her bones, removing the shackles of the ordinary girl. That night, the first gathering of the Discovery Club was held at the club. In the old room, the wall is full of maps and photos, and the smell of coffee and the wildness of the soil are filled with the air. More than 10 members sat around and asked the teacher smiling to clear his throat, Hello everyone, we are going to slam the school hot competition in the new school period. The theme is, the ultimate backpack challenge. Who has an idea? Everyone, look at me and you, the atmosphere is a bit awkward. Yizhen felt nervous, and the picture was again, the society was stuck on the idea, and the military was depressed. She held her hands, her voice trembled slightly but decided, I have a suggestion. We can design the night starry sky navigation route and set off from the campus to simulate survival in the wild. The GPS, first aid kit and a glow stick are placed in her backpack, and we can learn to identify the direction of the stars. This is not only exciting, but also cultivates the team's understanding. She said that the plan was being compared, and she knew in her brain that this idea would ignite everyone. The social leader house slapped the table, genius. This is much more interesting than a simple mountain climb. Yizhen, why did you think of it? Xiao Xian immediately answered, she was born to have a straightforward vision. I remember that when we were in elementary school, we pretended to explore the house in the park, and she always guessed where the Tangzang was first. Everyone smiled and Yizhen blushed his face, where is there, just feel the spirit. Sister Meiling pointed, okay, that's it. Yizhen, come as the leader of the group and prepare a backpack list. What do you think? Yizhen was stunned when she heard her palm, and smiled. The feeling of feeling was like a warm current pouring into her heart. She never thought that she could lead others. At this moment, she felt the seeds of growth sprout in her heart. After the gathering, Xiao Xian pulled her to walk in the night campus, with the road lights pulling up shadows. Yizhen, you're super today. From Yujie to idea, you're simply the savior of the society. Yizhen stopped and held her hand tightly, thank you for keeping pushing me. If it weren't for you, I would still be sarcastic. Xiao Xian blinked, we are gooching me. I remember when I was a child, we chased butterflies in the back mountain, saying that we wanted to travel around the world. Now, the exploration club is our starting point. Come on and realize our dream. They laughed at each other, and their friendship was like stars, illuminating the way forward. Yizhen thought to herself, I'm not afraid with Xiao Xian here. Just as they were chatting, a figure walked out of the student office. The tall boy has short hair, a sports bag on his back, and his eyes are as deep as the night sky. He stopped, looked towards the club, and slighted his mouth. Xiao Xian shouted, that's a new student Guanting, right? I heard that it's from the ball club, it's super. Yizhen's heart was inexplicably beaten, and she knew that the screen had flashed. He joined the club and brought about changes. She shook her head and threw it away, but her face was slightly swelling. On the way home, Yizhen sat on the bus. The air was fresh after the rain and the lights were shining outside the window. She looked at the group manual in her hand and felt, is this ability a gift or a burden? Knowing the future clips will make me avoid minor troubles and bring pressure, what if I miss it? But today, I took a brave step and felt the feeling of confidence. Youth may be like this, starting from the ordinary, and pursuing dreams bravely. What will be waiting for me tomorrow? Terms, 1287. The sound of the campus crawled in the early morning, like an old friend's wake. Yizhen rubbed her eyes and walked into the classroom. Last night's group manual was still under the pillow. As soon as she sat down, Xiaoxian came over, feeling warm, as if she had just sneaked breakfast from the kitchen. Yizhen, did you sleep well last night? Did you have a dream to the point of being a visit? Xiaoxian blinked, her voice feeling low and excited. Yizhen smiled and pushed her arm, where is the time to dream? I'm thinking about the social group. The idea I mentioned is too big and empty, what should you do if you laugh? Xiaoxian curled her lips and patted her shoulder, I love myself and scare myself. Remember when you were in elementary school, you predicted that the weather was so fast that it became the class leader's contact, and now the social group is the same. If you have that kind of straightforward feeling, don't waste it. Yizhen's heart sank, and the picture on the bus last night was still in the brain. That ability to know is like a half-open window, penetrates into the future clips, and also brings pressure. Youth should be careless, but she has a little more worry, what if she knew it was wrong? But Xiaoshuan's words are like sunlight, experiencing haze. Okay, I'll try it. The community is very stressful, but I'm not afraid of having you with you. She took a deep breath and felt the hesitant fog was scattered. Xiaoxian hugged her happily, that's right. Let's be the queen of exploration together to prove that girls can conquer the world. At noon, the club was warm and the air was mixed with the musty smell of the old book and the snack fragrance brought by the members. Yizhen pushed the door in, and 10 classmates surrounded the table, and the map was like a giant piece of paper. Teacher Meiling stood aside, with a gentle smile hidden behind her fierce eyeglasses. Hello everyone, today is the first on-campus simulation exploration, practicing the Extreme Backpack Challenge. The rules are simple, develop from the company, go to the back mountain in the campus, and simulate the survival of the wild. You must install tools in the backpack to avoid obstacles on the way and come back within an hour. The hot blood competition will be next month. This is a warm-up. Who won the small prize, a free one-day tour in Ilan? The members buzzed and some were excited and some were nervous. Yizhen's heart beat faster and his brain flashed through the screen. In the middle of the road, a muddy section hidden in the grassland, the team stepped on it and slipped, delaying the time. She clenched her fists, it was an opportunity to prove herself. The group leader Hao clapped, split up. Yizhen, you bring a group and are responsible for tidying your backpack. Who hasn't registered yet? Oh, the new student Guanting is here. A tall figure walked into the door. Guanting was carrying a sports bag, her short hair was flashing under the light, and her smile was like the summer sea, making several girls cry. He snatched his hand, hello everyone, I am Guanting, a second-year high school student. I heard that the adventure club is exciting, the basketball club is too single, I want to try to take risks. Zihao laughed, welcome. We are lacking in vitality boys. Which group do you join? Guanting looked around, his eyes stopped on Yizhen, and then smiled, Yizhen team, her idea sounded very cool yesterday. Yizhen's face was hot, but he didn't expect him to notice. She pointed, okay, let's prepare your backpack together. In the backpacking area, Yizhen and Guanting knelt on the ground shoulders, the old wooden table emitted a faint rosin, and the tools were scattered all over the floor, ropes, guide pins, first aid kits. Xiaoxian was grouping next to her, packing and sneaking around. Guanting, did you transfer to Taiwan because your father and mother's work adjustment? Guanting put a glitter stick around and replied, well, come from Kaohsiung. Dad is an engineer, and my mother loves traveling, so I followed her. But when I wanted to settle down in high school, I heard that the campus community was strong, so I came. He turned to Yi Zhen, where are you? Why did you join the Discovery Club? It doesn't look like a love-like appearance. Yizhen held her hand and zipped her fingers, just like her thoughts. She smiled, actually, I'm quite home-stop, but I want to challenge myself recently. I think youth cannot just read books, I have to go out and quit. Guanting pointed, his eyes lit up, I understand. When I was transferred to school, my dad said, adventure is the best teacher. I originally thought it was a waste, but now I think it's right. If you wear something, you can conquer the unknown. When their hands were accidentally touched and when they were tidying up the water, Yizhen felt the current flowing out and her fingertips were hot. She opened the video tightly and thought to herself, what does this feel? Like predicting the picture, but even more unreasonable. Guanting didn't notice it and continued, when I was a child, I went to climb Yushan with my father. I got lost once, and I have been in love since then. The school transfer is not a bad thing, it is a new beginning. Yizhen heard it, and her heart was filled with turtles. It turned out that he also had the heat behind ordinary things. She pointed, yes, so am I. I always felt like a grass on the road, but the community made me feel that I could grow into a big tree. Guanting smiled, then let's grow together. As the words finished, the air was filled with awesome sweetness. Yizhen's heart was beating like a drum, and the feeling of bravely facing this emotional spark made her take a step from the hesitation. At the beginning of the event, the team was divided into 3 groups and set out from the club. The mountain behind the campus was winding, the leaves were rustling, and the sunlight was rippling on the soil, and the air was filled with the smell of grass. Yizhen organized 5 people, Guanting carried the main backpack, and Xiao Xian was in the head of another group. Teacher Miling waited at the end and shouted, remember, the hot and blood competition is not only speed, but also strategy. There are many obstacles, and team cooperation is the key. Yizhen was in the head, and the picture was clear in her mind, the turning point in front of her, the rain last night became a mud pit, hidden under the fallen leaves. She stopped, wait, there is a problem with this road. We are lying on the left, there are many trees on it, which is drier. The boy from Ziheo's group was suspicious, why? Go straight and go fast. Yizhen insisted, believe me, just tell me there is a trap. Guanting patted her shoulder, I feel that she is a lucky star when I heard her. Sure enough, I walked straight into the mud and stepped into the mud and my shoes were sinking into it. The mud and water rose, and my dirty smile sounded. Wow, what a ghost. They pulled their feet hard and delayed for a few minutes. Yizhen organized a group to move forward smoothly, brushing his arms lightly with branches, bringing joy. On the way, Guanting's foot slipped down, and he knew the picture was flashing, his backpack fell, his backpack smashed the ground, and his tools were scattered. Yizhen could instinctively reach out and hold his arm, be careful. Guanting calmed down and turned to her head to look at her, his eyes filled with surprise, thank you. Otherwise I will become a clay figure. He smiled, revealing a row of white teeth, and the close-range breath smelled mint, making Yizhen's face red to his ears. It's okay, your focus is stable. She relaxed and her heart flipped, this not only saved people, but also saved herself. The moment she bravely pulled him, she felt that emotions were no longer a burden, but a fuel for growth. Guanting said in a low voice, you react so quickly, as if you have superpowers. Yizhen smiled in his heart, secret. Romantic sparks ignited in the forest, and she thought to herself, maybe, the adventure of youth is not only in the mountains, but also inspiration. As the little boy was in the head, the teams merged, but the small internal conflicts of Ziheo's group broke out. A boy complained about the road, why did you hear Yizhen? We were the first one. The atmosphere froze, the wind blew over, and the leaves rustled, as if they were waving. Xiao Xian stood up, his voice loudly as a leader, hey, everyone is calm. The exploration is not faster than who is faster, but who is smarter. Yizhen's straightforwardness saved us. How worried is it to slip on the nibbon? We are a team, and it will be fun to win together. She patted and complained to the boy, next time you take the head, We will hear you. Come, take a palm. The boy smiled awkwardly and stretched out his hand. Okay, Sister Xiaoxian said it right. The sound of his palm rose, the battle was resolved, and the friendship was tighter. Yizhen looked at Xiaoxian and felt warm. With her, the team is invincible. At the end of the meeting, Teacher Miling announced, Yizhen is the first team. Avoiding the mud pit, the shortest time. The rules of the hot and blood competition are strict. The school battle includes night flight and first aid simulation. Zimo's opponents are super strong, and we have to practice strategies. Yizhen listened and decided, I want to prove that I am no longer an ordinary girl. Guanting gave her Aquarius, congratulations, your idea and straightforwardness have made us win. Xiao Xian came over, yes. Yi Zhen, you are very brave today. The social pressure is strong, right? But seeing how you pull Guanting, are you feeling moved? Yizhen pushed her with a red face, don't say it. But, it's a bit of youthful confusion. The school students have come, there are many new friends, and I feel that the world is big. Xiao Xian pointed, that's right, let's face it together. The pressure is a flavoring, which makes the hot and blood more spicy. As the sun sets west, the campus is dyed orange. Yizhen and Xiaoxian walk on the way back to the classroom, with the fragrance of osmanthus flowers covered in the wind. Guanting's sharing is still in his ears, his passion for adventure is like a lens that shows her dream. She held the bag tightly, from the stool to the point of concentration, growing like a foot on a small body, clear step by step. Xiaoxian, thank you. I will be even more harmful if I practice tomorrow. Xiao Xian smiled, of course. But be careful, the look he looked at you is not simple. Yizhen's heart beat faster, and she knew in her brain that she had flashed the clip of the next event, more cooperation, more sparks. She smiled, the road to youth was becoming interesting. Number of words, 1248. As soon as the social organization opened, a mixture of coffee and old maps came to me. The sunlight outside the window slanted into the air, illuminating the hot blood competition newspaper on the wall, the school's extreme backpack challenge. The typography reads, Conquer the unknown, the team is invincible. Yizhen took a deep breath and walked in with Xiao Xian, her heart still silenced the warmth that was simulated on campus yesterday. The scene of the mud pit made her feel that she was no longer a side girl, but a member of the team. Guanting was already in the middle of the head, chatting with Zihao against the table, and his angry face looked like the protagonist of the movie in the light and shadow. He raised his head to see her and shook his hand. Good morning, Yizhen. Yesterday's straightforwardness, will you continue today? Yizhen's heart beat, and she smiled slightly. Well, you have to prepare for a hot and blood competition, you can't relax. Xiao Xian poked her lowly, look, he has no opposite eyes. Yizhen glared at her, close your mouth, focus on the community. Teacher Miling cleared her throat, and more than a dozen people sat in a circle, with the buzzing sound of expectation in the air. Okay, everyone will hear it. The registration deadline for the next weekend's hot competition is over. We are exploring the club to attack the champions. The competition rules are strict, off-campus routes, including night navigation, first aid simulation and obstacle crossing. The opponent has Zimo's tech club, which is very good at strategy, and we can't get it. She pushed her eyes and brought encouragement in her eyes, let's divide the work. Zihao is responsible for the route planning, Xiao Xian takes the first aid training. Yizhen, you are a backpacker expert. Yesterday your list was perfect. Today, you listed the must-have items for the competition. Everyone divided the work and cooperated. Remember, the team is the key, not a personal hero. The members pointed out, and some people whispered, Yizhen's straightforwardness is the secret weapon of the society. Yizhen heard it, her face was slightly warm, but a warm current surged in her heart. This leadership status was my own. The backpack area is hot, and the old wooden table is filled with tools, ropes, water tanks, guide pins. Yizhen knelt on the ground, suddenly flashed through the predicted picture in his brain. In the middle of the competition, one suddenly appeared in the mountain style. The team needed long ropes to fix the route, otherwise it would slide down the cliff. In the other section, the members twisted their feet, and the hemostasis stickers and belts in the first aid kit for emergency treatment. She rubbed her son's hole, and her ability was like a double-blade sword, which also made her feel very stressed. But she took a deep breath and decided to use it to fix the position. Everyone listen to me, please adjust the backpack list. Each person's main bag is a 5-meter rope to prevent wind from being fixed. First aid kits are plugged in to stop bleeding, sticks and elastic belts, and waterproof matches to prevent fire from surviving in rainy days. She said on the side. She plugged into her backpack, and she was as skilled as a veteran in action. Zihao widened his eyes. Wow, Yizhen, how did you know that the competition will have a big cliff? No rules. Guanting approached, touching her shoulders lightly, and the mint smell came. Yes, your straightforward feeling is powerful again. This list is perfectly packed, and you can know the future simply. Yizhen smiled softly. Just guess. Judging from the weather forecast, there are often mountains in the mountains. Xiao Xian put the bag next to her and blinked her eyes and said, guess? She is the girl's sixth sense. Guanting, you have to thank her, otherwise you will become a wind and fly away during the game. Guanting laughed and turned to Yi Zhen. Really, thank you. With you, I feel much more at ease. His eyes were gentle, like the sunlight melted the ice, making Yi Zhen's squint instantly soften. She thought to herself, this interaction is not just a social group, but also a little spark of heart. The team members were fighting for the spotlight. Sister Yizhen, please be our golden finger. Her leading position was as stable as she was, transforming from an ordinary girl into a reliable decision-maker. After the division of labor, Teacher Myling clapped. Okay, I'll do my first off-campus training in the afternoon, go to the back mountain trail near the outside school to simulate the competition route. Remember, cooperation is the first, safety is the second. Everyone packed up happily. Guanting took the initiative to propose. Yizhen, I'll help you carry the main bag. You are responsible for the list, I'll come to carry heavy objects. Yizhen pointed at the head. Thank you, then let's talk about strategies. Xiao Xian pulled her to the side and said softly, hey, this romantic atmosphere is too heavy, right? Guanting looked at you, as if he was saying, talk to explore together. Are you moved? Yizhen pushed her with a red face. Don't be so sad. This is a society, not an idle drama. But her heart was sweet. Guanting's help made her feel protected, and her youthful confusion was filled with confidence. The bus swayed towards the back mountain, and the Taiwan countryside was flying outside the window. The rice fields were green and the smell of soil and wild flowers were floating in the air. The team got off the train, the trees swayed at the entrance of the trail, and the birds shouted one after another. Yizhen was headed with her backpack, her shoulders heavy and pressed. Guanting walked beside her. How is this route? It's much more exciting than the school. Yizhen pointed. Yes, before practicing the night flight, familiarize herself with the terrain. Remember my list, and the ropes are available at any time. They walked around and chatted. Guanting shared Kaohsiung's mountain climbing experience. My dad always said that the exploration church is independent. But now, it's more interesting to have teams. Yizhen heard, and she felt alone in her heart. Ability makes me aware of items, but also makes me afraid of over-reliance. If I rely solely on it, isn't growth fake? She decided on the maturity point and used direct help to judge, and kept it out incompletely. In the middle of the trail, the slope is steep and the rocks are exposed, and the wind blows over brings joy. The team was in a tight atmosphere, and someone was gasping for breath. I'm so tired. What are the rewards for winning this competition? Xiao Xian observed and stopped and shouted, don't panic everyone. Come and share the story to solve the problem. Who will come first? A shy boy spoke. I was afraid of the dark when I was a child, but after joining the group, I learned to use a flashlight as a weapon. Everyone smiling, Guanting answered, before I turned school, I was lost in Kaohsiung Mountain, and my dad was in a hurry. That time I taught me that friendship is the best guide. Yizhen smiled. Yes, Xiaoxian and I were chasing butterflies when we were in elementary school, got lost and went home, and found new friends. The story is like a warm current, resolving tension, and friendship deepens into an enemy power. Xiaoxian clapped her hands. Look. We are not just teams, but family members. Keep moving forward and win with Zimo. Suddenly, Yizhen flashed through the predicted picture. In front of him, a piece of rock head fell in the wind, smashing the team route, screaming and chaotic one after another. Her heart was beating like thunder, and she instinctively shouted, Stop. Everyone retreats. The rock is about to slide down. Guanting's first reaction, holding her arm, what? Retreat quickly. The team heard the sound of the sound of the sound. Sure enough, the stone rolled down and smashed on the original path, the dust was flying, and the gravel jumped like a bird with a shocked bow. The members gasped, Oh my god, how do you know, Yizhen? Something happened. Guanting opened his hand loosely, his eyes full of penis. You are simply guarding the god. Thank you, really. He approached, his voice low, with you here, I'm not afraid of any danger. Yizhen felt her heart pounding. This not only saved people, but also saved herself, from a little girl's phone to a confident leader. The emotional progress was as refreshing as rocks. She read her face, the team is working together, as long as everyone is safe. Xiaoxian giggled behind her, romantic hero saves beauty. No, it's the heroine who saves the male god. Teacher Miling checked everyone, are you hurt? Yizhen's reaction saved my life. Remember my strategy, there are always surprises in the competition, and cooperation prevention is based on treatment. Zimo's society is strong in speed, and we are strong in wisdom and tacit understanding. She posted small maps, next time to add night elements to practice starry sky navigation. The team is at the top and the military is high. Practicing the tail sound, the team rested on the top of the mountain, the wind blew the hair, and the lights were on the rise far away from the Taipei Basin. Suddenly, Xiaoxian shouted, Hey, there is someone there. Is it Zimo? Yizhen looked around and saw a tall and thin boy hiding behind the tree under the trail, taking pictures sneakily. It was Zimo, the rival group's sleeve. He was discovered and walked out, laughing at the corner of his mouth. Is the exploration club practicing? Be careful of the rocks, our competition club will not be able to use the software. The competition is over. He stopped this and turned away, leaving behind the scent of the ignition of a minor conflict. Zihao was so angry, this guy is exploring our route. Guanting clenched his fists, don't be afraid, we have Yizhen's straightforwardness, we are determined. Yizhen's heart was ignited, and this transformation was like a fire, which aroused her stronger determination. He can't underestimate us, I want to use my ability to prove that the social group is invincible. On the way down the mountain, Yizhen was walking at the end of the team, accompanied by Guanting. I'm so grateful to you today. I feel that you have changed and I'm more confident. Yizhen stopped and looked at Shiyang's restlessness. Well, I used to be afraid that I would be burdened with ability, and I would always use it. Now, my boundaries are, I know it is a tool, not a lot of energy. To grow, just that's how it matures step by step. Guanting pointed, so too. After the school was transferred, with you, this society was like a new home. Xiaoxian shouted in front, hey, don't fall into the order. Before the game, practice a tacit understanding first. Everyone laughed into a group, friendship and romantic relationships, and the passion of youth was extended in the wind of the mountains. On the bus home, Yizhen looked at the night outside the window and reflected in her heart, the little conflict in her exploration made me see the true face of competition. The use of abilities must be more cautious and combining team strength is the king. Tomorrow, more practices are waiting. Guanting's pendant, like a badge, reminds me that it has changed. The bus was jogging in the night, and the lights on Taipei Street outside the window were like a flash of a galaxy. Yizhen leaned against the back of the chair, and her brain was still roaring with the voice of the top of the mountain and Zimo's mocking eyes. The shadow of the striking made her heart slightly nervous, but Guanting's penis and Xiaoshuan's smile were like warm wind blowing away the haze. She touched the social map in her bookcase and thought to myself, I can avoid rocks and not avoid inner pressure. Go home, maybe chat with your dad during dinner. When I opened my home, a familiar aroma of food came over the noodles. My mother was busy in the kitchen. My father sat in the living room to read newspapers. He was broadcasting Taiwanese art shows on the TV, and his laughter continued. Yizhen changed into slippers. Dad, Mom, I'm back. Today, the community will be practicing all night. Mom looked out from the kitchen and wiped her hands. Wash your hands quickly, you're ready. Did you hear that you joined the Explorer? Be careful, don't be hurt. Dad put down the newspaper and smiled. Yes, my daughter is growing up, and she dares to go climbing the mountain. Dad supports you, but don't work too hard, you have to pay attention to success. Yizhen clicked, walked towards the dining table, and felt a warm feeling in her heart. This is her home, an old apartment in the suburbs of Taipei. The wall is full of family photos. The air always has the fragrance of rice and pork, making her feel safe. Dinner served, hot dishes, Mom's signature fried eggs, stir-fried vegetables and Dad's favorite steamed fish. Yizhen put a piece of fish meat in her mouth and opened her mouth for a moment. Dad, Mom, I'm practicing in the social group today, something almost happened. A stone fell down, and I just told everyone to stop and avoid it. She bewildered the details, and only said it was straight. Dad and Mother exchanged their eyes. Mom asked with concern, really? Isn't it hurt? The community is so dangerous. Where are you, a girl's house? Dad pointed, yes, our family hopes that you will study hard, and will come to college and find a stable job. It will be exciting to explore, but don't be ignorant of the serious business. Yizhen's chopsticks were suffocated, and the pressure in her heart floated like a bubble. My dad always looked like this, gently carrying the shackles of expectations, making her feel that the society is playing, and not a real thing. She took a deep breath and raised her head bravely. Dad, Mom, I know you are good for me, but the community is not for fun. It makes me confident and no longer the girl who only hides at home to read books. The next month of the game, I am a backpacker expert and I want to win the team. It is true that the pressure is strong, but this is my dream, I want to prove myself. She felt that her chest was much relaxed, like taking off and reloading. Dad was stunned, his eyes were slightly red. Yizhen, you have grown up. Mom thought you were still young and was afraid that you would suffer. Dad put down his chopsticks and patted her hand. Dad is wrong. Remember when Dad was young, he also loved riding on the island, and later gave up for his family. Daddy has ambitions, good thing. We support you. Win the competition, Dad and Mom ask for a big meal. At this warm moment, Yizhen suddenly flashed the picture in her brain. Her father wanted to bring the economic pressure at home, and said that it was not cost-effective to buy equipment from the community, and her mother would respond, which led to small conflicts and awkward atmosphere. Her heart beats faster. This is a small matter at home, but if it breaks out, it will burn the flame of support. She interjected tightly and said with a smile, actually, the social installation and social packages are packed, so there is no need to worry about money. I save pocket money to buy water bottles as an investment in the future. My father's eyebrows were slightly anaconda, but I heard her say, well, you have a plan. Dad, believe in you. Mom also smiled. Yes, my daughter's straightforwardness. Mom remembers that last time you had a discount in the supermarket, we bought more vegetables, saving a lot. Yizhen relaxed her breath and resolved the seeds of the dispute. This ability was used between her family, which made her feel confident. It was not a burden, it was a bridge that connected my world. After dinner continued, Yizhen shared more interesting stories from the community. There is a new student Guanting, who is very good at sports. Yesterday, he helped me carry the bag. There is also a dead party Xiaoxian, who is always the first to encourage me. Dad laughed. Guanting. Boy. Be careful, puberty is normal, but don't be distracted. Mother poked her dad. what are you talking about? Yizhen is sensible. Yizhen red face, but her heart is sweet. Dad's recognition is like unblocking the lock in his heart. From relying on their expectations to independent pursuit of dreams, this turn is as refreshing as a mountain wind. After the emotions were released, she felt that she had grown up, and youth was no longer confusion, but strength. Thank you. I will be well balanced and the competition will be shown to you. The family smiled at each other. The lights on the table were warm, the fragrant scent of the pork. The family and the campus were connected to form a network, supporting her ambition. The next morning, the campus clock sounded leisurely. Yizhen walked into the club with her new water tank on her back, and the sun shone through the window to illuminate the mountain line on the map. Xiao Xian was already there, and she ate the breakfast buns and shouted, "Yizhen, what did you talk about when you came home last night? You're full of energy today." Yizhen sat down and shared the dinner points. "Dad, support me. I also said that I'll win the competition. The pressure is much less." Xiao Xian slapped her palm. "Great. We are friends and have no enemies. Come on, organize, brainstorm and prepare for competition strategies." She patted the table and summoned everyone. The Hot and Blood Challenge is divided into 3 stages: daytime travel, night navigation, and first aid simulation. Our brainstorm idea: strengthen the team. The members have been in full swing, and the club is full of heat, with the aroma of coffee and snacks mixed. Guanting finally entered the door, holding a small paper bag in his hand, and his cool smile was like morning light. He headed straight to Yizhen. "Good morning. I missed your straightness yesterday, and the rocks were scared. This is a thank you, a little thing, don't be polite." He passed the paper bag, with a cute guide pendant engraved with "Happiness Navigation." The metal surface is cool and has a delicate touch. Yizhen was stunned, his heartbeat accelerated. "Wow, thank you. How did you know I love this way?" Guanting snatched his head and his face was slightly red. "Guess it. It seems to suit you, like your straightforwardness, always guiding us to avoid it." Xiao Xian sneered beside him. "Romantic. Guanting, is this a confession prop?" Guanting slapped his hand. "Don't be so sad. Just thank the cooperation. Yizhen, put it on and try." Yizhen slapped on his neck, hanging lightly, and the romance, it turned out to be just a friendship, was instantly lifted, but the sparks in his heart were even stronger. She read her face. "It looks good, thank you. I will use it to navigate during the competition." This interaction was sweet and down-to-earth, making her feel the romance of youth and no longer far away. Brainstorm started. Xiao Xian was heading, and her voice was very enthusiastic. In the first stage of time travel, we used Yizhen's backpack list, plus the movement skills of the Crown Tide, and overcame obstacles. In the second stage of night sailing, practicing the starry sky identification, I took the head to simulate. In the third stage of first aid, everyone was running to stop bleeding. Where is your idea? Zihao held hands, add the team's secret number, shouting, "Stars are invincible," at night, increasing tacit understanding. A girl added, "Waterproof matches and rain, Yizhen's point god." The discussion was in full swing, and you came and I laughed constantly. Guanting approached Yizhen and said softly, "Your list is the core, we hear you." Xiao Xian looked in her eyes and blinked. "Friendship upgrade. With us, what is Zimo?" Brainstorm strengthened the Newport. Each idea is like a picture. The team has become tight from relaxation and tight, and friendship is like a footstep on a mountain, deepening step by step. Just as the atmosphere was rising, the door was knocking on the door. Teacher Miling pushed the door in and her face was solemn. Everyone stopped. "There is a new story. Zimo's competition club published an article last night, showing off that they bought professional GPS and rock climbing equipment, and said, the straightforward vision of the club can't afford real guns. They were ridiculing us and the competition was upgraded." The club was silent for a moment, and Zihao clenched his fists. "Don't die. They are exploring the path, but they are still catching up now." Guanting's eyebrows. "Don't panic, we have the wisdom of tacit understanding and Yizhen. Brainstorm continues and adds defense exploration strategies. Xiao Xian slapped the table. Yes. We not only have strong equipment, but also have stronger team hearts. Yizhen, what do you think? Yizhen was nervous and knew that the screen had flashed, the small trap of the neutron ink in the game, but the team resolved it due to tacit understanding. She pointed and said, the story is pressure, but it also motivates us. Add 1, change the route after each exercise to prevent them from following. Give them a look. Everyone applauded, and the tightness felt like a paradisiac, which burned hot blood. The climax burst out at the end of the brainstorm. Zimo's picking not only did not hit, but instead formed a crowd and turned into a force. After the practice was over, Yizhen walked alone on the forest road. Her guide was hanging on her chest and swaying lightly. The sunlight fell, and the fragrance of osmanthus flowers swayed. The inner feeling is youthful and multifaceted. Like this campus, on one side is the warm support of the family, which makes me lose my expectations. On the other side is the romantic sparks and competitive storms of the society, which makes my heart beat faster. I knew that I would resolve the family disputes and give gifts. I would like to change my heart from a girl to a leader. Ability is no longer a secret, but a growing partner. The competition is approaching. I am ready to face all the changes bravely. Xiang pulled up the shadow. Guanting caught up with him from behind. Yizhen, wait. Let's go for a walk together. She turned around, smiled, and the youth painting in her heart was slowly unfolding. The sunset on the campus playground is filled with green grass, blowing lightly, bringing the faint sweet fragrance of osmanthus. Yizhen stopped and turned around and looked at Guanting, who was catching up with him. He gasped and his smile was as bright as the summer sun. Let's go together. The practice is over. Take a walk and relax. Guanting said, his eyes flashing with expectations. Yizhen's heart beat slightly faster, and the brain flashed through the predicted screen. They walked shoulder to shoulder, talking about the community, and the atmosphere was warm and awkward. She pointed, okay, it's still early to go home anyway. Xiao Xian didn't know where she came out, and blinked, I won't be a light. You guys chat, I'll let it go first. She patted Yizhen on the shoulder and said warmly, seize the opportunity, youth cannot be wasted. Yizhen glared at her on the red face, but Xiao Xian had already run away with a smile, leaving them to sit down on the bench beside the playground. Guanting rubbed his neck and opened his mouth to break the silence. Today, brainstorm is great. Your route is optimized. I think we can really win Zimo's help. Why do you always think so carefully? Yizhen looked down at the lawn beside her feet, and a warm current surged in her heart. Did he notice me? She secretly felt like she was secretly hiding candy. She didn't dare to eat too much sweetness. Just think about it. The society has made me brave. I used to hide behind me, but now I want to pay more. Guanting turned to her, with gentle eyes, you were brave. When I moved to school, I was afraid that I would not be able to integrate, but with you, especially you, it feels like I found a new home. Yizhen's face became hot, and she knew that he would share the school's will in the screen. She asked lightly, are you used to Kaohsiung to Taipei? Is the community helpful? Guanting pointed and smiled and sighed, well, Dad is busy with work, I am suitable for the new one. Environment. The basketball club is crowded but cold, and the exploration club is different. Everyone is like family. Thank you for taking the lead. Their conversation was as gentle as the sun, and the interaction was rising. Yizhen felt that the dark seeds in her heart were sprouting quietly, but she didn't have the courage to say it, just smiled, let's come on together, the new classmates are integrated very quickly, you are the source of vitality of the society. Guanting touched her arm, then you are our guide. The sweet embarrassment spread out. Yizhen thought to herself, maybe, I should take the initiative, rather than just foreseeing the future. The next day, the club started to heat up early in the morning, mixing the air with coffee and the fresh taste of the soil after the rain. Teacher Meiling pushed the door in and held a map in her hand. Hello everyone, the intensive training has begun. The hot blood competition has been over a week. Today, we simulated the off-campus war from the back mountain trail to the forest area along Yilan. The key point is the optimization of the route and the weather. Zimo's competition club is already practicing. We can't fall behind. The members sat around and Ziheo posted maps. Yizhen, come and optimize the route, and use the brainstorm point yesterday. Yizhen clicked his head and knew that there was a steep slope in the middle of the main route, which was large and slippery. There were many branches, but the stream was hidden. She took a deep breath and pointed out the map. Let's go to the branch line here to avoid steep slopes. Although it's a little bit, it's safe. Adding the weather should change. Each person has more ponchos and ropes on his backpack, and he can fix his tent whenever he rains. Guanting leaned closer and his shoulders touched. Genius. This optimization makes us save time and stable. Xiao Xian clapped her hands. Yes, Yizhen's straightforward feeling is incompetent. The new classmate Guanting, you and her are the main route, and it is best to have a tacit understanding between each other. Everyone smiled and Guanting looked red on her face. No problem, I am responsible for the physical strength. This division of labor warmed Yizhen's heart. Xiao Xian's bridge role pushed friendship and romance forward. She felt that the team's cohesion was as sticky as glue, and everyone changed from strangers to familiarity. The bus rushes to the entrance of the forest area, and the air in the mountains and fields of Taiwan is wet, and the sounds of birds and streams form a background music. The team got off the car, and the backpack was heavy and pressed on the shoulders. Yizhen was in the head. Remember, the simulated competition, traveling through forest areas, night flight preparations, first aid points. Cooperation first. Guanting walked beside her, sharing interesting stories about the forest in Kaohsiung. I climbed trees there when I was a child. Now I am coming to Taipei, and the mountain road is wilder. Yizhen smiled. Taipei Mountain, although they are small, there are many challenges. New classmates like you bring new energy and everyone loves them. During the interaction, Xiao Xian shouted in front, hey, don't chat too much. The team is waiting for you. Her passionate laughter brought everyone closer. The newly integrated Guanting felt like an old partner, and the team atmosphere was warm and homelike. The trail goes deeper, the forest is densely packed, the sunlight falls, and the footfalls and leaves rustle. Suddenly, the sky sank, the wind storms, and Yizhen knew the picture was clear in his brain. Heavy rain was pouring into a basin, the team was wet and procrastinated, and the military was depressed. Her heart beats faster and she shouted, stop. The heavy rain is coming. We will find a high point in the area and build a temporary shelter. The members were stunned, and Ziheo was suspicious. Is the sky still clear? But Guanting's first reaction, I heard Yizhen. She was very cautious. They looked for a clear space, fixed the branches with ropes and raincoats, and built a simple tent. The rain fell like countless small stones, the air was instantly damp and cold, and the smell of earth was swaying. Yizhen pointed out, Xiao Xian, you help the girl fix the edges. Guanting, tighten the main robe. In the rain, everyone was busy with their hands, but Yizhen's knowledge allowed her to choose a good position in advance, and the shelter was stable and steady. The rain water slid down the leaves, and the team was standing in front, listening to the sound of the geese outside. During the crisis, Guanting suddenly grabbed Yizhen's hand and pulled her into the shelter. Be careful, the wind is strong. His palms were warm and powerful, and his eyes were filled with protection, which made Yizhen's heart beat. The rain sounded like a drum, and she felt that the moment was full of sweetness, like the bridge section of an idle drama. Thank you. Thank you. She lowered her voice and raised her head bravely. You always do this, protect everyone. Guanting opened his hand, but his eyes did not turn. It's not about protection, it's about caring about you. After the school was turned, you made me feel unintentional. Yizhen red face, and her heart was indifferent. I have been secretly for a long time, from the first time to the current interaction, I can't hide anymore. Growth is to express bravely. She took a deep breath and said, I'm going to have you to make a friend, so the community is more fun. She was released in the rain at a sweet moment, and she turned from being implicitly involved in the event, feeling confident as a rainbow after the rain. The rain was a little slow, and the team's atmosphere should be low. Xiao Xian stood up and her voice was loud like a leader. Hey, don't be discouraged. This heavy rain is a test given by God. We are not wet cats, but explore warriors. Think about Zimo's help, they have GPS, we have tacit understanding, they have equipment, we have friendship. Yizhen's promise knowing that we were saved, Guanting's strength was stable and we were in a crisis together. Winning this simulation proved that we were invincible. Her charming performance was like a torch, igniting everyone's eyes. Someone shouted, Sister Xiaoxian said it right. Friendship makes us stronger. The sound of the palms rose in the shelter, the team revived, the friendship was tighter, and it condensed into an enemy-free power. They burst out of rain and continued to move forward, and their simulations were in sight. But the good times didn't last long. Zimo appeared with 2 members of the competition club, and the rain dripped down his raincoat, and the corners of his mouth were laughing. 1. The explorer is soaked into a soup chicken. We just finished practicing, and the roads are all well equipped. Your straight vision can't stand the real rain, right? He dropped the pick, and the members laughed. During the competition, we are hindering, wait and see. A small conflict broke out, and Zihao clenched his fists. You are not exploring yet, you are still getting cold water now. Guanting was in front of Yi Zhen. Stop talking, do you understand our team heart? Xiao Xian stepped forward. Zmo, it's normal to compete, but don't be villains. The competition is true. Zmo left his shoulders, leaving behind a flaming smell, but this conflict inspires the team, you can't send it to them. Yizhen's heart ignited, and this turnover made her more sure. Continue to move forward, a steep slope appears. Guanting suddenly stiffened his feet and his face turns white. Yizhen noticed that the screen was flashing, he was afraid of heights, and the slope was strong, so he would be hesitant. It turned out that it turned around, and she pulled his sleeve lightly. Guanting, is it okay? This slope is high, but we are together. Guanting said in a low voice, actually. I'm a little afraid of heights. When I was a kid, I fell over the mountain, and I've been afraid of heights since then. Yizhen smiled softly, I understand. Come on, walk by, I'm by your side. Remember your words, the team is the best guide. She took the initiative to hold his hand, guided step by step, and blew his hair, but her warmth dissolved his fear. Guanting took a deep breath and kept up, thank you, Yizhen. I'm not afraid of you. This helps deepen the relationship, from getting to know the truth, the romantic sparks are even stronger. Xiao Xian yelled lowly behind her, look, Guxi's straightforwardness. The simulation ended, and the team returned to the starting point. Teacher Meiling was waiting there, checking the map. It's good, it's going against the heavy rain, I won the simulation. But the error is in the first aid point, the hemostasis practice is too slow, and the next time it's accelerated. She provided professional guidance, use my strategy, preventive first, optimize the route and practice night sailing. Zimo's pick is smoke, we focus on ourselves. Everyone pointed, and the military was high. As the sun sets west, Yizhen and Guanting walk shoulder to shoulder with Xiao Yang in the forest area. Xiao Xian hums a song in front. Yizhen reflected in her heart, I secretly turned his attention to his actions and helped him fear of heights, which made me feel that I had grown up. The team gathers, new students integrate, everything is like new buds after the rain. The competition is approaching, we are ready. Guanting turned around, Yizhen, thank you today. Next time, I will protect you. She smiled, protect each other together. Xiao Xian turned around, hey, the romance is over. Go home to discuss dinner, and eat a lot after the competition. The laughter was rumbling in the mountains, and the blood of youth was burning. The bus was driving away from the forest in the twilight. Outside the window, the silhouette of the Taiwan mountains and fields became blurred into a green shadow. Yizhen leaned against the back of the chair, and the fragrance of soil after the rain was still in the brain and Guanting's warm eyes. Xiao Xian turned around in the front row, smiling jokingly on her face. Hey, the two just eye contacts are simply the climax of an idle drama. Guanting, are you interested in Yizhen? Guanting slapped his hands with red face. Sister Xiao Xian, don't be sad. We are talking about the tacit understanding of the community. Yizhen lowered her head and smiled secretly. The sweetness in her heart was like osmanthus cake, sticky and warm. But she turned the conversation tightly. Okay, the last off-campus visit before tomorrow's competition, everyone should rest early. The number of hot and blood competitions is over, we can't relax. The team members were staring, the car was filled with buzzing sounds of fatigue and satisfaction, and friendship was like a mountain, blowing away the fatigue of the day. The next morning, the campus office was filled with backpacks, and the sun was shining on the old wooden door, bringing a fresh smell of grass and trees. Yizhen pushed the door in and found that the number of people was not in agreement. Zihao and 2 boys were absent, with only 7 left. Xiao Xian browed, what's going on? Zihao told me that he had a cold, and the other 2 had family affairs. I was in trouble now. Exploring the route needs to be divided. What should I do if I lack people? The members were talking to each other, and the atmosphere suddenly fell down. Someone said, it was happening before the game. Are we still doing it? Yizhen's heart sank, and suddenly flashed through the foreseeable picture. The middle section of the road line was forked, and the lack of people led to the logistics that could not keep up. The team got lost and delayed, and the military collapsed. She took a deep breath. This was a crisis and an opportunity. Showing her leadership potential, she straightened her back and said, don't panic, everyone listen to me. Zihao and the others were absent. We adjusted our appearance. I brought the main navigation group. Guanting was responsible for logistics and physical support. Xiao Xian took the lead and explored the way. Combined into a large group and exchanged each other, so it was more efficient. For the absent route, we used the pre-order list to add 1 more package of first aid tools for each person. Guanting pointed, yes, Yizhen said it right. I'll carry heavy objects, so I'll guarantee you won't delay. Xiao Xian clapped her hands, genius. This adjustment makes us tighter, like an invincible team. Everyone's eyes lit up, and the shadow of absence resolved. Yizhen felt that her inner heart grew. From a girl in the hesitation to a reliable partner, this step-by-step decision made her confident as a foot on the mountain and moving forward steadily. Teacher Meiling has not arrived at the scene, but her remote guidance is transmitted in time. The company's mobile phone is used to monitor the video. In the picture, she is wearing a glass and the background is a pile of books in the office. Hello everyone, I'm at the campus and I heard that I'm short of people. Yizhen's adjustment is good. Remember my strategy, the competition is strong and adaptable. Absent is an exam, and it turns into advantages. The route takes the classic small mountain in the back mountain in Taiwan, simulates night flight preparations, pay attention to weather changes and terrain. Zimo's competitive community news has been purchased. No one is on the verge of the incident, we have to be guarded and interfered, don't let them follow. In the screen, the teacher was very gentle, keep in touch, report once an hour. Safety first, hot and blood second. After the shutdown, the team members were cheered up, and Yizhen thought to herself, the teacher's guidance is like a light tower, illuminating our way. The bus opened to the back mountain of Taiwan, and the rice fields outside the window were green and rolled up, and the air was filled with a wet smell of mountain fog. Upon reaching the entrance, the trail winds upwards, the stones are covered with moss, and the birds under the tree are crisp. Yizhen was headed, and her backpack was heavy and pressed on her shoulders. Today's goal, explore the 5-kilometer mountain, practice bifurcation navigation and bridge crossing. Remember to adjust the appearance, everyone will change their team. Guanting walked beside her and said in a low voice, your decision saved us. I was too panicked when I was absent, but you were as stable as an old man. Yizhen smiled, thank you, I dared to lead with your support. Xiao Xian explored the way forward and shouted enthusiastically, come on. This mountain is super beautiful, like the Taiwanese version of Nania. As you go deep into the mountains, the air becomes cool, the feet fall and the leaves rustle, and the sun shines through the gaps of the leaves. Suddenly, I knew the picture was flashing in my mind. The fork in front of me was filled with smoke. The team missed for a fork, lost for half an hour, delaying the practice. Yizhen's heartbeat accelerated and she shouted, "Stop! Don't be anxious about this fork. The main road turns right, and the left side is more foggy. Look at the guide and the tree-skinned moss. There are a lot of moss in the north, so let's go east." Guanting checked the map. "Yes," she said, "it's accurate. There is no one in the fog and the tracking risk is high, so let's hurry." The team heard the turn, and sure enough, the left side was as foggy as white, and it was buzzing. Zimo's interconnection interference? A member shouted, "I heard that there is no one. They are monitoring our route." Zhangli rose, and Ziheo's substitute for the boy was filled with anger. "Don't die, Zimo's trick." But Yizhen insisted on navigation, led her head forward, and the branches brushed her arms lightly to bring joy. She walked along and explained, "Don't be distracted, focus on the route." I knew. I just told me that this road is safe. Half an hour later, they passed the bifurcation smoothly and arrived at the middle rest point. The team burst into praise. "Yizhen is so amazing. We are not lost." Smart navigation, the secret weapon of the society. Guanting patted her shoulder. "You are not only reliable, but also our lucky star." Yizhen read her face, but her heart was refreshed. From ordinary to being relied on, this growth is as relaxed and powerful as a mountain wind blows on her face. She thought to herself that the leader was not born, but was trained in crisis. During the break, the fight broke out. I complained and adjusted my appearance for the boy. Why did Yizhen decide? We lacked people, it was wrong. She was a girl leader, and she was wrong. The atmosphere froze, and the wind blew across the leaves, as if she was waving. Xiao Xian observed and stood up. The sound was as loud as an encouragement. "Hey, everyone is calm. Exploration is not about who is loud, but about who is the group." Yizhen's direct feeling saved us from getting lost. Think about it, who will stand up when we are absent? It's her. We are a team, and lack of people is not about ending, but about the opportunity to shine for everyone. Come and share why we joined the group. Let's first, in order to help Yizhen realize his dream, we are dreaming together now. Her charm resolves embarrassment. The boy lowered his head. "I'm sorry, Sister Xiaoxian. I just have a lot of pressure. I joined to overcome my slight slut." Others laughed. "I'm just making friends. I won the game for my father and mother." The battle turned into a climax of friendship. Yizhen looked at Xiaoxian and felt grateful in her heart. Her support, like the magic of Jumi, made me reflect. Growth is not just a matter of being alone, only with friendship support can I dare to fly high. As we continued to move forward, the mountains narrowed, a hanging bridge crossed the valley, and the bridge was shaking, and the stream below was gurgling, bringing a cold and humid atmosphere. Yizhen felt nervous and knew that there was no danger, but she was afraid that the height would be intimate. Guanting held her arm. "I'll go first, help you to stabilize the bridge. Grab me tightly." He guided him step by step. His palms were warm and powerful. When passing the bridge board creaked and the wind blew his hair. When the eyes were in conflict, Guanting said softly, "Don't be afraid, I'm here. Remember that on the day of heavy rain, you pulled me over the slope and now change me." Yizhen's heart beats like a stream, and the sweet eye contact made her feel romantic and connected her heart like a bridge. "Thank you, you understand me." After passing the bridge, he relaxed but did not move his eyes. "In fact, I have something to share. After the school switch, my father and mother divorced, and the Kaohsiung family became empty. I came to Taipei to escape, but the community has allowed me to find a new beginning. What about you? Why is this hard work?" Yizhen hesitated, and then spoke bravely. "I sometimes feel ordinary, my father has high expectations, and the community is the way to prove myself. Your story makes me understand." Youth is confusion hidden in the blood of blood, but when we face it together, we are not afraid. Sharing the thoughts deepen the relationship, and the romantic progress flows naturally like a stream. She feels that the secret turns from seeds to flower buds, and she is bravely released. Suddenly, the original story came to an end. On the small corner behind the bridge, a stone tablet hidden under the vines revealed clues, engraved with ancient Chinese characters and map lines. Xiao Xian shouted, "Wow, what is this? Ancient trace? It looks like a mountain road mark in the Qing dynasty." Yizhen approached, touched the breeze of the stone surface, and knew in her mind that this was the lost ancient road in Taiwan. Exploring it can add creative points to the competition. On the team's exciting side, Guanting took a photo with his mobile phone. "It's so cool. We recorded it and reported to Teacher Miling, which may be the highlight of the competition." Zimo's interference message came at this time. The community group popped up, the competition club showed off, discovering a new route, the exploration club still playing with mud. But the ancient world discovered the reactionary force, and everyone laughed. Do they copy it? We have real treasures. The exploration was full of fun and added to the heat and blood. Yizhen thought to herself, there is always surprise in accidents. This ancient world is like a hidden link of youth, pushing us forward. As the sun sets, the team goes down the mountain, and the trail is at the end. Teacher Miling's message comes, "Hear an ancient story? Good idea, integrate into the competition, remote guidance, strengthen the night sail, prevent Zimo and the wind. If the absence is successfully adjusted, you are no longer invincible." Yizhen walked at the end of the team, accompanied by Guanting, and Xiao Xian hummed the song in front. The heart is filled with vein, the blood of youth is like this mountain, full of confusion, absence of crisis, Zimo's interference, sharing of thoughts, but I went from knowing that I was lost to successful navigation, from conflict to friendship, from fear of heights to sweet eyes, everything made me turn to the extreme. Growing up is not about avoiding the wind and rain, but about standing firmly in the sky. Xiaoshuan's support, Guanting's warmth, and ancient times made me ready for the competition. The blood is still falling, and our youth is burning vigorously. On the bus, the team shared photos of ancient dramas, smiling and sounding unrestrainedly. Yizhen looked at the twilight outside the window, and the flames in her heart became stronger and stronger. On the eve of the competition, we have changed. Terms, 1286. In front of the campus announcement column, the sun shone brightly on the colorful poster, and the air was filled with the aroma of breakfast buns and the students' private words. Yizhen walked up with her bookcase on her back, and the ancient story discussion last night was still scattering in her brain. She felt like the team was hit with chicken blood, and the excitement on the eve of the hot blood competition made her sleep particularly fragrant. But as soon as she saw the newly posted post, her heart suddenly fell into a flash, the challenge book of the competition club, and the title was written by School Hot Blood Outpost, Discovery Club vs. The competition club, who is the overlord of the mountains and fields. Below is Zimo's signature, with the notes, a limited weekend back mountain trail, the returner publicly apologizes, and the winner gets the game prediction advantage. Xiao Xian came up from behind, and her tail was swaying like a whip. Yi Zhen. Did you see it? Zmo is here to pick it again. Yesterday, there was no one but the airport was not enough, and now we are fighting directly. There are many people in the community, what should we do if we lack people? Yizhen held the bookcase tightly, and a chill of fear arose in her heart. The competition should be in the formal competition, and now it starts early, and it has been gone. What should we do if the military collapses? She flashed through the predicted picture, the blurry mountains, the team stepped into the mud pit and trap, Zimo's ridicule, the smell was too heavy. Don't panic first, let's go to the club to discuss. We can't let them walk around. Guanting appeared at some point, and his breathless short hair flashed under the sun. He patted Yizhen's shoulder. Yes, I support you. After the school switch, I talked about this kind of minor action the most, but we had a tacit understanding and won. His touch was warm, which made Yizhen's fear a little calmer, but the pressure in his heart was like a mountain fog, and he couldn't get rid of it. The club was filled with a group of members, with the smell of coffee and the ink fragrance of the map mixed. Ziheo rubbed the cold nose. I'm fine, but Zimo wants to step on us in hot blood. They are equipped with cows, global positioning system, and rock climbing shoes. Where are we? Just rely on straightforwardness and friendship. The atmosphere was in a warm mood, and someone complained in a low voice, reject it, don't take risks. Yizhen took a deep breath, stood up, his voice was slightly slight but determined, no, we answer. This is an opportunity to prove himself. Zimo wants to create conflicts, so we use the team to reverse. Remember teacher Meiling's words, suitable force is the king. Xiao Xian immediately took action, his eyes lit up. Jingjing, yes. Yizhen said it right. We are not weak, but explore warriors. A shortage of people? Then it's even more tight, and you'll be replaced. Guanting, your sports talent is shining. Yizhen, direct navigation, I encourage everyone. Friendship is unrivaled, please give it to them. As soon as Guanting pointed, I am responsible for stinging my physical strength. Yizhen posed for me and cooperated tacitly. Yizhen looked at everyone, and the fear in her heart seemed to be melted by Xiao Xian's passion. She thought to herself, maybe, the challenge is to grow up, from hiding to the battle, I am sure of this step. Early on the weekend, the bus stopped in the smoke of the Back Mountain Trail in Taiwan. The air was wet in the fragrance of pine trees, and the sound of birds continued, as if telling a tough battle. 7 people from the Exploration Club were against 10 people from the Tech Club. Zimo stood at the entrance, wearing a professional mountaineering suit, and a confident smile on his lips. Come. The rules are simple, from here to the ancient monument at the top of the mountain, those who arrive first will be successful. On the way, the obstacles will be random, and the family apologized and gave the competition story. His eyes swept over Yi Zhen, and he carried a few pics, especially you, straight girl, don't rely on your luck today. Yi Zhen's heart beat faster, but she straightened her back, game is fair, let's take a look. Guanting whispered in her ears, don't pay attention to him and follow me on the main route. The team set out, the trail was steep, the moss was slippery under her feet, and the wind was blowing with joy. At the beginning of the competition club opened the distance. Their GPS was buzzing, and Zimo shouted, come on, explore the friendship of the club, you can't get the speed. The atmosphere of the Exploration Society was in a warm and Xiao Xian explored the way forward, don't worry, our route will be optimized, and you will win. But Yizhen knew in his mind that the picture became clear. At the turn of the front, Zimo's subordinates would dig pits on the dirt section, cover the fallen leaves and put them on, and delay the followers. This is a little slander, making fake falls and delays. She was shocked, afraid to turn into anger. Stop. Everyone hears me, there is a trap on the road ahead. Zimo and the others dug a hole. Seeing that the fallen leaves are unnatural, we roam the tree on the left, although it is steep but clean. Ziheo was suspicious, really? What about 1,000 mistakes? Guanting immediately supported, Xin Yizhen. Her straightforwardness has never been wrong. Come, I pull the ropes and everyone goes forward one by one. The team heard the sound of the turning, and the branches brushed their arms lightly, bringing the moisture of the soil. Sure enough, the main road to the competition club called Zizhang, don't die. Who dug this pit? Ours. Zimo was in a hurry, pull out your feet quickly, don't let the explorer supercar. The reverse turn began, Yizhen's consciousness made the team's soldiers burst into flames. Someone shouted, Yizhen is amazing. This is a counterattack. They accelerated forward, and the steep slope in the middle of the mountain appeared, with the wind as big as a roar of wild animals. Guanting's sports talent shines at this time. He carried the main backpack and his muscles were tightly swaying under the sun. Yizhen, grab me. I will take the head of this slope. Yizhen pointed and held his hand, and practiced it thousands of times. She knew there was a sloping stone on the slope and reminded her lightly, be careful of the stone on the right and go left. Guanting reacted quickly, avoiding her feet, and her feet were as stable as a goat. Received. Your straightness increases my speed, and there is no enemy combination. They stinged their shoulders, and the heat of their palms touching each other made Yi Zhen's heart beat like a drum, and romantic sparks exploded in the crisis. Suddenly, Guanting's foot slipped down, not a trap, but his own fear of heights and old aggression. His face turned pale. I'm instinctively. Yi Zhen could instinctively hold him. It's okay, take a deep breath and look at my eyes. Remember last heavy rain, you pulled me, now you switched me. Step by step, let's go together. Her gentleness dissolved his hesitation. Guanting took a deep breath, his eyes calmed down. Thank you, I'm stable with you. At this moment, the mistake would be relieved. Yizhen thought he was always an invincible hero, and it turned out that he was weak. Guanting also understood that her courage was not aura, but sincerity. They cooperated tacitly, and the team followed, and Xiao Xian shouted behind him, Guanting, Yizhen, super. Come on, everyone, friendship will let us fly. The conflict was upgraded, the middle section of the valley was hanging bridge. Zemo's trance reappeared. They drew lubricants on the bridge and drank them into dew. The competition club was first passed. Zemo slipped and fell into the stream, and got up wet, feeling very angry. Who fucked? Inside Ghost. But when he arrived at the exploration club, Yizhen knew that the flash was happening. The bridge is slippery. Use ropes to reinforce it. We only have one person, Guanting will show the situation first. Guanting pointed the head, sports instincts are on the line. He used a social rope to squeeze the bridge, and turned over the bridge to the ground, safe. Yizhen, come. Yizhen followed, the wind blew her hair, and the bridge board creaked, but with his figure in front, she felt fearless. Xiao Xian encouraged her, it's time to come. Explore the club, please. The team crossed the bridge, and the friendship was as tight as a rope. Zemo saw it in his eyes, his face turned blue. How do they know? It's impossible. The climax exploded at the ancient monument at the top of the mountain. The explorer arrived first, panting but excited. Zemo's team arrived 5 minutes late, and Niba and Wei proved their wolf sharks. Zemo approached with gasp, his eyes mingled. You win. How did you know how to break the trap? Yizhen wiped his sweat, and the confidence of growing up made her look directly at him. It's not about luck, it's about team wisdom. Competition should be fair, and the small actions of digging holes will only make it difficult for you to see. The team shouted. Xiao Xian hugged Yizhen, we are invincible. Friendship reverses everything. Guanting approached and said, you are the leader of the blood today, and my heart is all won by you. Romantic sparks are like smoke. Yizhen has red face, but her inner reversal is completed. From a girl who is terrified to a leader who is entrusting with a challenge, this victory is not only the community, but also hers. Teacher Miling arrived at the moment and pushed the mirror seriously during the hearing process. Zmo, I agree with this challenge, but the trap is in violation of regulations. The school rules emphasize fairness, and I will report to the president. I visited the club, and I was good at doing it, and turned against the bad, showing my spirit. She explained, competition is for growth, not to destroy it. Zmo, learning points, next time great light. Zemo lowered his head and unexpectedly stretched out his hand. Yizhen, your tacit understanding is awesome. I admit it. During the game, may we be able to communicate routes? It is not cooperation, but at least not cheating each other. This show of love is like the original reversal. Zemo's eyes no longer mocked, but a little respect, indicating a possible future cooperation. Yizhen was stunned, then shook hands. Okay, just say it. Youth is hot and bloody, let's play together. The team relaxed their voices and the conflict resolved into a new starting point. On the way down the mountain, the sun was shining on the trail, the stream was gurgling, and the air was fresh and clean. Xiao Xian pulled everyone to sing the school song. Guanting and Yizhen walked behind him, and he suddenly stopped. Yizhen, you are captured many times today. Your bravery makes me like this society even more, and you. Yizhen's heart beat faster, and she knew that the screen was a prelude to a sweet confession. She smiled, so too. From fear to now, I understand, challenge is not an enemy, but a teacher. The inner feeling is gone, victory and victory wins the hearts of the people, romantic sparks light up the road, and friendship is invincible to support the dream. The hot and blood competition is approaching, we are ready. On the bus, the team shared the battle spoils, photos of ancient scenes and selfies of Xingli, laughing like a mountain wind. Yizhen looked at the green outside the window, and the flames in her heart were beating. Zimo's show of kindness is like an unexpected rainbow, the road of youth, getting wider and wider. The campus clock sounds at noon, as familiar as an old clock. Yizhen opened the office, and the sun shone through the gaps in the window, illuminating the maps on the table and taking selfies. Yesterday's outpost battle was still in the team, and everyone discussed Zimo's show of goodwill in groups, and some people laughed. His handshake feels like signing a war agreement. Xiao Xian gnawed the apple and shook her tail. Yes, the competition has become interesting. Yi Zhen, you were super good yesterday, and knowing the trap is simply a social legend. Yi Zhen smiled, his face slightly warm. No, it's all about everyone's understanding. The hot and blood competition is down, don't relax. Guanting came in from his door, holding a sports water tank in his hand, and his cool smile was like morning light. Good morning, the warmth of the vigor is still there. What are the plans today? His eyes were on Yizhen for a moment, making her heart beat, but she lowered her head and tidied up her backpack, thinking to herself, it feels so good from fear to vigor, but Guanting's attention always made me feel uncomfortable. Teacher Miling pushed the door in, and there was a sense of excitement hidden behind her fierce eyeglasses. Hello everyone. The outpost was beautifully fucked, and Zimo's transformation was a good omen. Today I will organize a special lecture. The theme is, Advanced Strategy, from Tacit Understanding to Dominance. The hot competition is not only about physical strength, but also about wisdom. Sit well, we start with the optimization of the route. The club was quiet in an instant, and the members were surrounded in half a circle. The teacher drew a map on the whiteboard, and the air was filled with the smell of powder and coffee. She pushed the lens. First, preventive interference, Zimo's unmanned attack or trap. We use fake routes to misguide, and real routes to add hidden marks, like tree skin carved symbols, only we understand. Second, night air upgrade, use the starry sky to add guide marks, not deadly, but dynamically adjust the direction. Third, first aid simulation, not only stop bleeding, train the team's wheels, reduce pressure. Finally, psychological warfare, face the competition, turn into force, like you turned back yesterday. The teacher's voice lens was powerful, and every strategy was like a sharp arrow, directly hitting Yizhen's heart. She flashed her brain and saw that the wind was turning to the east at the competition night flight, and the team used hidden tags to avoid the interception of the ink. During first aid, the wheels reduced pressure, so that everyone was calm. This application is so perfect. Yizhen took action. Teacher, I understand. Fake routes can be placed on the club map, and real routes are marked with moss talisman. Night sailing is predicted with wind direction, and we practice simulation. The teacher pointed his head and his eyes lit up. Yizhen, you absorb it quickly. The team's strength is increasing, so it depends on these. When practicing, you act as a strategist and run with your head. The members applauded. Goo. At the end of the lecture, the team headed straight to the off-campus training ground, the simulated forest area behind the campus. The sunspots were scattered on the trail, and the air was filled with the smell of grass. Teacher Miling guided the remote video. Start. Simulation competition in 3 stages, use my strategy. Yizhen led the lead, and his voice was determined. The first stage is optimized. We marked the road in front fork, and the real road was on the left moss line. To prevent Zine-like interference, everyone was exiled. Guanting carried the main bag and followed her. I am responsible for physical patrol. I hear all your strategies. Xiao Xian explored the way forward. Hot blood. Friendship let us take a step faster. They went forward, and Yizhen knew in her brain that there was a flash of light, there was a simulated wind in the middle, and the branches would walk. She shouted, the wind direction is turned. Use ropes to fix it. Night flight preparation, watch the starry sky move eastward, adjust the guide. The team responded quickly. Guanting pulled the ropes to stabilize the route, Xiao Xian shouted the secret number, the stars are invincible, and everyone traveled through time tacitly. During the first aid simulation, a member pretended to be twisted, and Yizhen pointed out that the wheel was flowing. Zihao stopped bleeding. I felt the pain. Guanting raised his leg. Reduce the pressure, take a deep breath. Everything was perfectly executed, without delay. The team was as smooth as a machine. The climax came. At the end of the simulation, Yizhen knew the final obstacle, the hidden trap pit, which was set by the teacher in advance. They avoided the fake road and went straight to the real world. Guanting passed the last stone pile. Give it. Time is 10 minutes faster than the outpost battle. The team burst into tears, and Xiao Xian hugged Yizhen. Your knowledge and strategy are superb. We have a big victory, and the competition is stable. Yizhen gasped, and she fell into a state of vain. From the hesitant sidekick to the confident strategist, this uplift was as refreshing as the wind on the mountain, blowing away all the haze. I am no longer afraid of competition, this is my place. Teacher Miling's video was heard, perfect. Yizhen, you have changed. The team's strength has increased, remember, growth is the key. Everyone held their hands, and friendship was like sunlight, warm. When practicing the tail sound, Zimo appeared unexpectedly, and was surrounded by the forest area. He was wearing casual clothes and holding the map in his hand, and there was no ridicule on his face. Hey, visit the club. I'm just passing by, and it's up to you to practice. Yesterday's handshake was not fake, your strategy is bad. My competition club also learns points and no longer engages in minor movements. When competing, fair comparison. His eyes were respectful, like a turning bridge. Yizhen was stunned, then smiled, thank you, Zimo. Competing for respect, everyone will be hot together. Xiao Xian blinked, wow, enemy becomes an ally. Youth is so wonderful. Zimo pointed his head and turned away, leaving the warmth of his little tail. Guanting said softly, look, your influence will change his view. Yizhen's heart was warm, and this change made the team stronger. As the sun sets west, on the campus forest road, the fragrance of osmanthus flowers sniffed. Yizhen walked towards the classroom with her book bag on her back, and she was still savoring the refreshing excitement of the motivating success in her brain. Guanting caught up with him, and his voice was light and fast, Yizhen, wait. Take a walk after practice. Take a walk around the venue, talk about strategies, or something else. His invitation was like an unexpected candy, which made Yizhen's heart beat faster. She pointed, okay, I'm free before dinner anyway. They walked shoulder to shoulder at the playground, the green grass rustled under the feet, the sound of the balls from far away stopped, and the sun shone. Guanting rubbed his neck, today you are super eye-catching, and the strategy model is fully opened. I moved to school. I originally thought that the society was just a pastime, but now I think, with you, it's different. Yizhen lowered her head and her face was hot, thank you. You are the same, and your physical support is always in time. Walking like this, I feel that your youth is warm and warm. They stopped beside the chair. Guanting turned to look at her, her eyes as deep as the night sky. In fact, I have something to say. From holding hands in the heavy rain to winning yesterday, you are brave. The way I dared made me feel moved. It was not the tacit understanding of the society, but individual. The sweet conversation was like honey. Yizhen felt brave. She raised her head, so. She used to express her expression, but now I want to say, I am not afraid of any route with you. Guanting smiled and touched her hand, then let's go together. After the competition, we will take a formal walk. The suggestive confession made the air full of sweetness. Yizhen had a red face, and the love in her heart was like a flower. Brave face was no longer a dream. On the way home, Yizhen met Xiao Xian. She took Gumi to the milk tea shop at the entrance of the school gate, and the sweet fragrance of pearls was filled with the air. Xiao Xian took a sip of milk tea and blinked, hey, I just took a walk with Guanting. What's the red face like? Are you moved? Tell me, what are you going to do? Yizhen slapped and slapped the straw. I like him, but I'm afraid of saying it, the community will be embarrassed. Youthful love is so confusing. Xiao Xian put down the cup and her eyes were gentle. Yizhen, listen to me. When I was in elementary school, I also secretly missed the boys in the class, and slapped the half-hearing in 2018, he turned to school and regretted it. Later, I joined the society just to find a position to help you bravely, like you. Friendship is like this, push you. Face love, don't be hesitant, it's good to say it. Remember when we chased butterflies when we were young? The feeling of heart is that, grab it. Her personal story is like a warm current, resolving Yizhen's hesitation, and the warmth of friendship makes her feel fearless. Thank you, Xiao Xian. You are always my back. Xiao Xian slapped her hand, do me, love and friendship will be one. I will practice tomorrow, and I will create opportunities for you. They laughed at each other, the sweetness of milk tea permeated, and the confusion of youth dissipated in sharing. The next morning, before the club was practicing, Yizhen suddenly flashed through the predicted picture. Guanting slipped in the forest area and twisted his ankle. It was not a big deal, but it would delay his blood. The original transformation came, and her heart beat faster. This was an opportunity to protect him and deepen his emotions. The practice begins, the trail behind Taiwan is slippery and the mist is rippling. Guanting slammed in front, I'll explore the way, everyone follows. Yizhen shouted, wait, Guanting. The road is slippery, the stone on the right. He was stunned, but he heard it turned, and sure enough, a piece of mossy stone was swaying on the original road, and he would have slipped. She rushed forward and grabbed his arm, be careful. I just told me that there is danger. Guanting calmed down, his eyes filled with surprise and heart, save me again. Yizhen, how do you know? This is not just a straightforward feeling, it's your concern for me, right? The close-range breath smelled mint, and he said softly, thank you. Yes, yes. You, I think, are protected and want to protect you too. After the game, I want to officially say that I like you. The confession hints like a fire. Yizhen read her face, but bravely shook his hand, so too. Let's win the game together, and say more. The team shouted in the back, Xiao Xian laughed, romantic turn. Continue to move forward, the enemy team. The training ended successfully, and the team was filled with a rainbow. Yizhen walked at the end of the team, accompanied by Guanting. The heart is intoxicated. I knew that a small accident not only saved people, but also felt excited. This growth has transformed me from a strategist into a brave man. The hot and blood competition is approaching, and our youth is moving forward sweetly. The sun was golden under the entrance of the raceway in Yilan Mountains, Taiwan. The air was filled with the scent of moist soil and the gurgling sound of the streams far away. The opening ceremony of the hot blood competition was extremely exciting. The host's passionate voice was conveyed from the speaker, welcome to all schools. The school's extremely limited backpack challenge, the theme is, Conquer the Unknown, with a total length of 10 kilometers, including river crossing, night navigation and first aid simulation. Team cooperation and smart decisions, win the championship cup. Yizhen stood at the front of the team of the explorer, her heartbeat was as rapid as a drum, and her backpack was heavily pressed on her shoulders, filled with her perfect list, ropes, waterproof matches, bleeding stickers, all the necessary items you have ever known. The romantic warmth that I practiced yesterday was still there. She secretly glanced at Guanting next to her. His breathless short hair was blown away by the wind, and his eyes were full of expectations. Are you ready? Guanting asked softly, touching her shoulders lightly, making her feel a warm current. Well, win together. Yizhen smiled back, and her youthful heart surged into her heart. This passionate blood is not only a competition, but also a proof of our transformation from ordinary electricity. Xiao Xian adjusted the logistics package behind her head and patted everyone enthusiastically. I will take care of the logistics. I will supplement the water tank and first aid will to ensure that you have no worries in the front line. Guanting and Yizhen, you are in the forefront, and there is no friendship. Zihao rubbed his nose and smiled. We adjusted the time we missed that time, and it is more tight now. Where are Zimo and others? Don't let us wait. Teacher Myling stood aside, her eyes flashing with her harsh eyes. She approached Yizhen. Remember my strategy, be ahead of prevention, the team understands tacitly. The competition is a growth test, you are ready. Yizhen pointed at her head, the pressure in her heart was like a mountain fog, but the teacher's encouragement was like sunlight, scattering shadows. On the other hand, Zimo's competitive team was tidy and his professional equipment was flashing. He walked over and slighted on the corner of his mouth. Yizhen, you won the outpost. This official competition, you can see the true seal fairly. Don't let me down. Yizhen looked at him directly. No. Heavy blood depends on strength, not a small move. Zmo pointed his head, with a little respect in his eyes, and the reversal of the air made him less striking. The starting gun was blowing, the team rushed out like an arrow, the racetrack winded up the mountain, the stones under the feet were shaking, and the wind blew over the leaves and rustled. Yizhen suddenly flashed through the brain and knew the picture, the initial section of the road, a hidden steep slope mud, the competition society was directly affected, but if the exploration society followed, it would slip and delay. Her heart beat faster and she shouted, everyone turns left. The main road is slippery, and the trees are lying on the small lines. Although they are long but stable. Guanting's first reaction grabbed her arm. I heard her. I'm in the competition club. The team turned around and turned, and the trees were swaying and stomped down, and their pace was light and fast. Sure enough, the main road was called Yung. Wow, this mud pit. Pull your feet quickly. Zimo was anxious. Don't die, how do they know? Speed up the pursuit. The leader of the explorer for half a minute, Xiao Xian shouted behind her, Yizhen is aware. We are the first. The team shouted in a low voice, and the soldiers were as angry as fire. Yizhen felt the pleasure of growing up, from the girl who was hesitant to the adventurer who led the leader, this movement made her fearless. The first river has crossed. The road is as fast as the rushing mountain stream. The water flows and the waves are filled with cold mist. The bridge has been destroyed and the rules require the use of ropes and wood to cross the river. The competition club is behind, but they are equipped with strong equipment. Zimo shouted, fix the frame with rock climbing shoes and go straight. They moved forward in a slight manner and first explored the club for a short period. Yizhen's heart sank, and he knew that the picture was clear, there was an undercurrent in the water flow, and someone would be deviated in the middle of the competition club and delayed. If he explored the club, the whole team would slip. She stopped and pointed to the map, can't be straight. The water flows eastward, we use the Z line, first fix the left bank, cross the middle, and then pull the right bank. Guanting, you have the head to the cross. Xiao Xian, replenish the cables after logistics. Guanting pointed his head, his exercise skills were like a leopard, he rushed into the water, and the cold water splashed on the tube, received. Yizhen, grab my shoulders. Yizhen followed, put his hand on his shoulder, feeling his muscles were tight and powerful, and he fought shoulder to speed up his heart. He turned around, his eyes were mixed, and his damp eyelashes were flashing. We are invincible with your decision. Remember yesterday's exercise? Now it's really a shot. Yizhen read her face and said in a low voice, well, let's get through this together. They pulled the ropes, the team lined up, Zihao gasped, water, I'm going to do it. It's so cold, but Yizhen's Z-line is stable. Xiao Xian was supplemented on the shore, with a loud voice, the ropes are coming. The logistics are in vain, so impulse. Teacher Myling shouted far away from the tournament, good strategy. Go backwards and show growth. Her encouragement was like wind, pushing the team forward. In the middle, the prediction came true, the competition club went straight through the river, and a boy was knocked away by an undercurrent and fell into the water. Zimo pulled him up, quick. explore the club's supercar. They missed for 2 minutes, and the wolf climbed the shore. The Z line of the exploration club avoided the undercurrent. Yizhen finally passed by, her feet stepped on the slippery wooden slumber, and the sound of water was like a drum. She felt the passion and blood of youth, fear of becoming more and more excited, and the labels of ordinary girls broke into waves. She climbed to the right bank, and the team burst into tears. Yizhen. It's reversed, we'll take the lead. Guanting pulled her up, his palms warm for a long time. Your decision is amazing. I feel that we are not just teams, but partners. During the eyes, a romantic climax surged. Yizhen thought to herself, this is not only a victory, but an emotional bridge. Our love is released in crisis. Xiao Xian hugged everyone. Logistics success. Water supply is supplemented. Continue to rush. Zimo's team chased after him, and his feet were like thunder, increasing his tightness. Don't let them open. We will fight back at night. Yizhen took a deep breath, and his heart was silent. Youth is hot and bloody like this river, and the turbulence pushes us forward. From predicting a small accident to being the first now, this movement has made me fearless and become a real adventurer. Continue to move forward. The road of the race turns into the dense forest, the trees are swaying, and the air is wet and the sweet fragrance of wild flowers. Suddenly, the original story came to life. Yizhen knew that the picture was like a flash in his brain. A bush in front of him, a group of monkeys burst out, snatched backpacks of food, creating a confusion and delayed competition. Her heart beats like thunder. She shouted, "Stop! There are wild animals in front of you, monkeys. Don't take food and walk around, don't stimulate them." Guanting was stunned. Monkey? Is there any in this forest? But his first reaction turned to Xiaozi, believe you. Everyone is tight and move forward without sound. The team heard the words, his feet relaxed, and the leaves brushed their arms lightly, bringing joy. Sure enough, the bushes shook, and a group of Taiwanese monkeys burst out, their eyes shining, grabbing the branches and squeaking. One of them aimed at Xiao Xian's logistics bag, and she instinctively stepped back. Wow, it's so cute but scary. Zimo's team didn't expect it and rushed over. The monkeys were swarming and food was scattered all over the ground. They screamed and chased the monkey. Don't die. My energy bar. After 3 minutes of error, Zimo was anxious. The Discovery Club is the first? How can they avoid it? The Discovery Club passed smoothly, and the monkey screamed and cried, adding to the stimulating palpitations. Guanting smiled softly. Your expectations saved our lives. The monkey's face was like a movie. Yizhen gasped, I think, the team is running. Continue, the night flight is coming. Xiao Xian added, the monkey has not been killed. The logistics is perfect, and the heat and blood continues. As far as the forest area is concerned, the road is flat, the sun is falling, and the mountains are hidden far away. Teacher Miling's encouragement came from the speaker, explore the club first. Stay tacitly, the first thing is to reverse perfectly. Remember, growth is at every step. Zimo's team caught up. Zimo shouted, Yizhen, you are so bad. But night sailing is our strength, wait and see. The tightness was like a bowstring. Yizhen felt the acceleration of movement. The beginning of the hot and blood competition was full of climaxes. From the river to the monkey group, we were not only ahead, but the electric change. Guanting held her hand tightly. Next to close, let's go. The romantic touch made her unable to make the final conflict. The team accelerated, the starry sky of the night sail was hidden in front, and the passionate blood of youth was extended in the mountains. Yizhen thought to herself, this movement will never stop. The night falls like ink in the Yilan Mountains, with stars hanging in the sky, the night flight of the race officially unfolding, and the air is filled with the purses of the pine trees and the hum of the remote streams. The team of the explorer held a glowing stick, and the green light shook in the darkness. Yizhen was heading, and the guide pin was hanging on his chest and swayed lightly. The brain knew that the picture was like a tide. In the middle of the night voyage, there was a steep cliff. Zimo's competitive society set hidden buckles on the road, creating fake safety points. which led to slipping and delaying, but if the team rushed directly, it would encounter violent rain and sudden storm and collapse. She took a deep breath, and the cold wind blew her hair, bringing a biting mood. Everyone listen to me. Don't be anxious at night, the main route is blocked, we go to the left starry sky navigation line, identify the Big Dipper, 15 degrees eastward, avoiding the cliff strait. Guanting, you carry a rope, Xiao logistics lights the light is supplemented. Guanting pointed his head, and his airy will was clearly silhouetted under the starlight. He said in a low voice, I received it, your straightforwardness is powerful again. Grab me, let's go together. His hands touched her arm, and the warm touch was like a flame in the night wind, making Yizhen's heart beat slightly chaotic. The team moved forward, stones and thorns under the feet were shaking, and the shadows of trees were swaying like ghosts. The footsteps of the competition club were chasing behind him, and Zimo's shout continued, accelerating. Night flight is our strong point. The friendship lights of the exploration club cannot illuminate the way forward. Their GPS lights flashed like fire, leading a short section, but Yizhen's predictions allowed the exploration club to keep up. Xiao Xian distributed energy bars behind her head, and her voice was as loud as a light tower. Eat some. The night in Taiwan mountains, and the sugar candy kept hot and blood. Remember when we were young, we were traveling to the back mountain at night? Now it is a real gun, shining together. Her encouragement was like a warm current, resolving the fatigue of the members, and some people were panting, Sister Xiao Xian, all the monkeys must retreat with your charm. The team agreed in a low voice, and the friendship was tightened in the darkness, and the military atmosphere was as firm as stars. The cliff appears in the middle section, the road is as steep as a knife, the sound of the sound is like a wild beast, and the moonlight shines on the rock wall, reflecting the silhouette of the silhouette. Zimo's obstacles appear as expected, in the middle of the path, a false buckle is hidden in the shadow, disguised as a fixed point. The competition club arrived first, and Zimo shouted, here is here. Go straight to the peak. But when they pulled the sting, a boy slipped, his feet slipped, and his tugging and loosened, and the whole section broke, screaming and resounding, ah. It fell. They formed a group, delaying the misunderstanding. Zimo was in a hurry, do you die, who is the mistake? Repeat it. The explorer avoided the main straight, Yizhen pointed out, use our ropes, climb the Z figure them first, then straighten them to the right. Guanting, you can show them first. Guanting rose, his muscles surround him in the moonlight. He crawled and shouted, still stable. Yizhen, keep up, this route is safe. Yizhen grabbed the ropes and grinded his palms out of heat. The rough touch of the rock brought pain, but the predicted safety made her fearless. She climbed with her head, and the stars reflected her figure, as determined as a leader, learned step by step, everyone is flowing. We are not only climbing mountains, but also conquering fear. Zihao followed, Sister Yizhen, you know this, it's amazing. The competition club is slamming below, we're supercar. The team cooperated tacitly, the ropes creaked, the wind blew through his ears like encouragement. Yizhen's heart turned, from an ordinary girl to a decision-maker at this peak, this refreshing and free, which proved that I was no longer a supporting role, but the heart of the team. At the end of the climb, they won the key points, the referee's light flash, showing, route wisdom +10, and expanding first. But the danger is still everywhere, and at the top of the cliff, the storm surges like a foreseeable rain, the clouds roll, the raindrops fall like pops, the thunder and birds are shaking, and the visual lines are blurred. The team was panting, tired, and tide came, and someone whispered, it's so tired. The rain is too heavy, what should I do when I sail at night? Xiao Xian noticed and stood up. The rain dripped down the tail. She shouted, hey, don't collapse. This rain is God's test. Taiwan's mountain road was like this, and it was wet and felt even hotter and bloody. Think about Yizhen's prediction, Guanting's we are strong, our friendship, unrivaled. Come, hold your palm and shout, the stars are not shining. Her encouragement was like a torch, igniting everyone's eyes. Zihao gasped, Sister Xiaoxian, your leader's charm must retreat. The team slammed his palm, laughing in the rain. The strength of friendship resolved the fatigue. They regained their momentum and moved forward as one. Guanting approached Yizhen and pulled her to avoid a piece of falling gravel. Be careful. This wind is so strong that it will tighten me. His body held the wind and rain, and the close-range protection made Yizhen feel his heart pounding. Thank you. I'm not afraid of you. Guanting said softly, and the rain slid down his face. Yizhen, come from the road on the first day of school, your courage made me feel moved. Now, in this rain, I want to say, after the competition, I will officially confess. I like you, not just a essay. The sweetness is as hot as a warm current. Yizhen's red face is on her head. Well, I'll wait. The romantic sparks are brighter in the rain, and the vitality of youth is even stronger. Teacher Miling's tips came from wireless at a time, and the sound was clear in the thunderbolt. Yizhen, have you heard it? The wind is northeast, and there is a cave behind the cliffs. Use my strategy, rope to fix the tent, and the wheels are resting. Zemo's obstacle has failed. You should take the lead and keep balance. Yizhen responded, received, teacher. Team, look for the cave. They went in the dark. The rain was cold and the mud was slippery under the feet. Suddenly, the original turned. There was a big difficulty ahead, a sign of a mountain collapse. The cracks on the rock walls expanded, and the gravel fell like thunder. I knew the picture was flashed. If it was directly thunder, the team would be in danger. But Zemo's competitive club actually emerged from the side, and they also avoided obstacles. Zemo gasped and ran closer, and his face no longer mocked. Yizhen. The landslide is coming, our GPS detects cracks. You have many tricks, we are in charge of our support, you are fixed on the road ahead. Yizhen was stunned. This unexpected alliance was like a flash. Okay. Cooperate, save everyone. Guanting clenched his fist. Trust, once, he was hot and blood-related, and he didn't distinguish his enemies. Xiaoxian shouted, come on. I'll take care of the logistics, and half of the ropes are divided. Zmo pointed his head, his eyes were complicated. The outpost is sent to you, and I learned, competition is not a scam, it is growth. Hurry up. They joined hands, the physical strength of the competition club and the wisdom of the exploration club. The ropes were tightened like a net, and when the gravel fell, the team was evasive, and the screams in the thunder turned to cry. The mountain collapse stopped, and the rain fell a little. Zemo wiped the rainwater. Thank you, your tacit understanding saved us. The game continued, but this time, the part one recognized. His failure led to growth, and his eyes were filled with admiration, like a tourney. The crisis was resolved, the team rushed to its final peak, the starry sky was revealed, and the air was fresh after the rain. Yizhen took the head, knowing that the road line was safe and sound. The last thrust. The peak is in sight, win youth. Guanting accompanied her shoulders, together. Xiaoxian was behind, the friendship is invincible. They climbed to the top, and the referee was lit up, the first in the exploration club. The total number is reversed to the champion. The shouts broke out. Zemo's team he kept up with the second place, but he patted Yizhen's shoulder. Congratulations. You win the hearts of the people. Teacher Miling called out and hugged everyone. Perfect climax. Growing is in the reversal. Yizhen stood at the peak, her wind blew her hair, and reflected in her heart. I knew it was my golden finger, but the balance of the team made it light. From ordinary to leader, this ability is no longer a burden, but a bridge, connecting friendship, romance and passion. Guanting said in a low voice, the competition is over. Now, what's the saying? Yizhen smiled, her heart beat like stars, and the sweetness of youth was slowly unfolding. On the way down the mountain, the team lights swayed, and the laughter was endless, and the galaxy in the night sky in Ilan was burning. Xiaoxian pulled Zemo to chat. Hey, what's the matter with the alliance? Next time for social exchange? Zemo smiled, why not? Guanting raised Yizhen's hand. When you go home, will the milk tea party? She pointed and felt everything was full. Although the competition is successful, the road to youth is still prolonging. Number of words, 1268. The starlight at the peak was still flashing in front of you. The night wind in the Yizhen mountains blew away the moisture after the rain, bringing a clear rosy smell. The team of the Discovery Club stood at the temporary camp, panting, and the referee's lights passed by, announcing the end of the night flight. The Discovery Club takes 5 minutes at the beginning. The final checkpoint, first aid simulation plus the final sprint, Simulation Mountain is difficult to rescue, and the rescue is completed within time and the final sprint is reached. Start. Yizhen wiped the sweat from the head, and her heartbeat was not calm yet. Guanting's whisper and Zimo's unexpected alliance made this night flight as fierce as a dream. She took a deep breath and flashed her brain to predict the picture. The final checkup was a simulated landslide, and the injured were scattered on the cliffs. Zimo's competitive society was delayed due to excessive installation, and if the Exploration Society used full first aid, it could turn around and take the lead. But in the picture, there was a vague clip. She sent out a pink envelope. Guanting took it with a smile, and hugged it under the starry sky. This love flashed like a fire, strengthening her determination. After winning the competition, she bravely submitted her confession letter and no longer cared about the sweetness of youth. Everyone, listen to me. Yizhen straightened her waist, and her voice was clear in the night wind. First aid simulation is the key. Zimo and the others are equipped with heavy equipment, so they will be slow. We use light gear. I am responsible for judging injuries. Guanting's injured person, Xiaoxian supplements the hemostatic sticker. Teacher Miling's strategy, prevention first, teams tacitly help their lives. Guanting pointed, his eyes full of trust, your foresight is accurate. Carry me up and guarantees stability. Xiaoxian came from the logistics bag, took out the belt, and the tail swung under the light. Logistics is in no worries. It's hard to see in Taiwan mountains. We have practiced countless times, and it's hot and blood. The team pointed, and Zihao gasped, Sister Yizhen, you have become a leader from an ordinary girl, we will follow. They rushed towards the simulated area, with 3 scarers dolls scattered under the cliffs. The referee simulated mountains collapsed and the rocks fell, the smoke exploded, and the air was instantly filled with dust and tight buzzing sounds. Zimo's competition club has arrived first. Their GPS lights are flashing. Zimo shouted, highlight them. All the equipment is on, use the hemostasis machine directly. But their backpacks are heavy, and their rock climbing shoes are stuck in the gravel, and a boy fell down, don't die. This stone is too awkward. After half a minute of error, Zimo browsed, hurry. The explorer is catching up. The explorer avoided the main road, and rolled on the side that Yizhen knew. The rock under his feet was rough and rubbed, and the wind blew over it brought a biting chill. Yizhen's first time to reach the point A of the injured person, kneel down to check the doll, twisting and wiping. Guanting, lifting his legs to fix it, Xiaoxian, stop bleeding and pressing it. Guanting picked up the doll with his waist, his muscles were tight and strong, still stable. Yizhen, you are judged to be accurate, the injured person is stable. Xiaoxian carried the belt and practiced skillfully, when it reaches the point of my pressure, everyone breathe deeply, reduce the pressure. The team's will operation was in a tacit understanding and practiced thousands of times, without panic. Zihao stood by, Zmo and the others are stuck. We are the first. Yizhen felt the inner movement accelerated. This reversal was not only a fraction, but a proof of growth, from the girl hiding behind to the leader who was determined to be in a certain way. Her hands were slightly slim, but she was as confident as the starlight, illuminating the darkness. Suddenly, the original turn of the story, Yizhen's love scene became clear, not blurry, but was vivid as real. The competition ended, and under the light of the light, she took out the confession letter she wrote at home last night from her bookcase, and the pink envelope was squinted. Guanting, are you going to explore youth together? He took it, his eyes lit up, and then he gently slapped her in the team's shout. This picture is like a warm current, dissipating the pressure of first aid, making her more determined. if you win this, just apply it. The romantic preheat made her face hot, but she shook her head and focused, the second wounder. The fracture is simulated, fix the frame with a rope. Guanting, tighten. Guanting looked back at her, noticed the strangeness of her eyes, and kept silent. Yizhen, you're not only the leader today, but also, have something to do. Your eyes are bright, as if there is a secret. Yizhen's heartbeat was beaten, and this observation was too accurate. He said with a red face, tell you after the game. Now, you are reversing intently. Guanting smiled, his eyes soft, okay, let's wait. I probably guessed your feelings. I took the initiative to approach since the heavy rain held hands. Don't miss it, I'm not just using it. Romantic misses will relieve the fog of sunlight. His initiative made Yizhen feel sweet and the pressure turned into power. She pointed, well. Let's fight together. The interaction sparked a little in the crisis, and the team didn't notice it, but Xiao Xian laughed behind her, the two eyes are not in opposition. Logistics supplements, romance and blood. The second aspect of first aid is that Zimo's team finally got on, but their hemostatic machine was malfunctioning and delayed even longer. Zimo was anxious, change your phone. How is the exploration club so fast? Yizhen knew their weakness and pointed out, the third injured person has heavy bleeding, first press and stop the bleeding, and then lift it. Xiao Xian, elastic bring it. Xiao Xian came up and the voice was loud, prepare. We are flying and reducing fatigue. Taiwan Mountain Rescue is based on teams, not machines. They completed the final fixation, carried 3 hard men, and rushed towards the end, stepping on the gravel, and the night wind was like encouragement. ZMO caught up, but 2 minutes late, returned back. The referee's lights were bright, the exploration club completed the first aid simulation, the first score. Champion. The team burst into shouting, Yizhen was lifted up by everyone, and a laughing voice under the starry sky, we won. Yizhen's prediction, no enemy. Guanting put down the doll and hugged her the first, you did it, leader. His hug was short and warm, and the romantic climax was released in the victory. At the end, the lights on the ground were bright, and the prize cup for the hot blood competition was shining on the stage, and the air was filled with the smell of roasted corn and the smoke. Teacher Meiling came up and smiled fiercely on her face. She hugged Yizhen, children, the perfect ending. From the school to the present, your growth has made me proud. Yizhen, your decision is the key, and you turn your head ahead and show the passion of youth. Xiao Xian jumped up excitedly. Pull everyone into the palm of his hand, go to celebrate. I have the greatest contribution to logistics, haha. Yizhen, you have changed from a girl in the Yu family to a confident queen, my sensation is great. Guanting, you can also protect her, and it will be romantic. Guanting smiled with a red face, thank you, Sister Xiao Xian. The team is invincible. Zimo walked over and competed. The member of the club was at the back. He stretched out his hand with a sincere look, Yizhen, congratulations. From the pit of the outpost to the current reversal, I have realized. Your tacit understanding and wisdom have taught me that competition is for better, not for placing people. I respect you. Next time we exchange school, will we cooperate to explore? Yizhen shook hands and felt that the conflict was resolved in a complete manner. Okay, Zimo. He doesn't divide the community, everyone conquers the mountains and forests together. Zimo pointed his head and turned away, and he still lowered his voice, your straightforwardness is so bad. Youth is so good. This full sentence of respect, the team relaxed its voice, and friendship expanded into a circle. The celebration will get hot, and the simulated area of Taiwan night market is filled with snacks, and the sweet taste of corn fragrance and pearl milk tea is swaying. Xiao Xian pulled Yizhen to the side and put a cup of milk tea, hey, I'm so successful. Now, tell me your worries. Guanting's hug just now, will he be relieved? Face it bravely, Gu Qingmi supports you to submit that letter. Yizhen touched the pink envelope in the bookcase, and his heart beat faster, well. I'm sure you know, everything is smooth. Thank you for keeping pushing me, from social pressure to current love, you are my unintentional backing. Xiao Xian blinked, that's. Our dream when we were young is real now. Go, youth cannot be weighted. Yizhen pointed at the head, her mind was as determined as a mountain, free and determined. Guanting walked up at some point, and his angry smile sang under the light, Yizhen, I'm done with the fun, let's go together. The competition is over, I want to hear your thoughts. Yizhen took a deep breath, took out the envelope from her bookcase, and his hand was slightly slight, okay, this is for you. From the first day of school, you will change. The passion of the exploration club made me brave. Now, I want to say, I like you, is it okay to explore youth? Guanting received the letter and his eyes lit up. After he opened it, he held her hand with a smile, so. From holding hands in the rain to the current victory, I took the initiative to approach, just for this moment. No mistake, let's go together. He hugged the fire and released it sweetly. Xiao Xian smiled secretly from afar. Teacher Miling smiled and Zimo's team also applauded and blessed. The romance of youth is as bright as a galaxy. Yizhen leaned on Guanting's shoulder, looking at the night sky in Ilan, and she felt alone in her heart. This hot and blood competition is not only a winning prize, but a change of my power. Awareness has become a tool for growth from a secret burden, a community has turned from pressure to a source of confidence, friendship is like the thrust of a Xiao Xian, making me fearless, romance is like the warmth of a crown court, making love fall in love. The harvest of youth is not to extricate the ordinary, but to embrace everything, exploration, friendship, and love. After submitting this letter, I am brave. There are still many mountains to climb in the future, but with them, I am indifferent. The night wind blows lightly, the stars blink, and the end of the story is sweet and fragrant. Terms, 12:45. The lights of the casino camp in the Yilan Mountains are brightly lit, and the fires are lit up in the night sky like star showers. The air is filled with the sweet fragrance of roasted corn and candied haws, and the laughter of the team members is scattered. Yizhen stood beside the prize cup, holding the bright metal cup in her hand, and her heartbeat was not completely calm. The referee's announcement was in his ears, Discovery Club, the first place in total, the champion. Xiao Xian hugged her excitedly, and her tail was like a whip, Yizhen. We won. From the school to the present, this hot and bloody road is so good. Guanting smiled beside him, his eyes were gentle like moonlight, and he patted her on the shoulder, your decision will make us reverse everything. The champion is not only a prize cup, but our youth. Zimo walked over, and a member of the competition club followed behind him. He stretched out his hand and smiled. It's so honest, congratulations. I haven't forgotten the alliance. The competition is over, but friendship begins. Let's explore the secrets of Ilan next time. Yizhen shook hands, and the conflict in his heart disappeared like smoke. Okay, ZMO. If you don't know the opponent, let's talk together. ZMO pointed and turned to the team and said, learn from the point, your tacit understanding is stronger than our equipment. This turn makes the celebration more popular. The original competition has become a new starting point, the team shouted in a low voice, and the friendship is as bright as a prize cup. Teacher Miling approached and her serious eyeglasses were filled with pride. She held Yizhen's hand, child, I'll see the potential from the day you joined the group. Now, you not only grow as a leader, but also bring everyone's phone calls. Remember, this is not the end, but the beginning of a new adventure. Yizhen's eyes were slightly wet, teacher, thank you for your strategy guidance. If it weren't for you, we would be there you. The teacher smiled, it's your passion and blood that makes the strategy come alive. Xiao Xian, your encouragement charm has also been found, right? The queen of social logistics, no one can replace it. Xiao Xian laughed red, yes. I used to recommend Yizhen, but now I find that I love this team sense. Youth positioning is here. Everyone held their hands, and friendship deepened like night wind, warm and determined. At the end of the celebration, the team sat in the campfire and shared snacks. Zimo even joined and talked about the interesting news about the mountain road in Taiwan. I think exploration is speed, but now I understand it, it is a heart-to-heart. The laughter sounded and the warmth of blood made Yizhen feel everything full. At noon the next day, the campus ceremony was filled with students, and the sun shone through the high windows to illuminate the commendation posters on the stage. The school-wide commendation ceremony was held at a hot ceremony, and the president cleared his throat, and his voice was loud through the makeepers. Today, we commend the explorers' hot champions. They not only won the school competition, but also showed the spirit of the team. They were in a crisis and were worth learning from the whole school. The sound was like a tide. Yizhen was pushed onto the stage, her backpack was still hanging on her shoulders, her face was red but her waist was straight. Xiaoxian and Guanting stood beside him, and teacher Miling clicked in the audience. The principal came to the honorary certificate. Yizhen, as the leader, share your story. Yizhen took a deep breath, and after flashing his brain, she knew about the landslide alliance from the Yujie. She smiled and said, "Hello everyone, I was an ordinary girl, I love reading books and fearing being outside. But when I joined the adventure club, I met Xiaoxian's passion, Guanting's support, teacher Miling's guidance, and even Zimo's competition, which made me brave. I knew. I told me that crisis was an opportunity. During the competition, we avoided mud pits, monkey groups, and wind rain, not a disaster. The atmosphere is the tacit understanding of the team. Youth is hot and bloody, not a person, but everyone is fighting. After the shelf, don't be afraid of ordinary people. Join the group and find your adventure." Thunderbolts sounded out of the audience, and someone shouted, "Sister Yizhen, encourage your will." Zimo shook his hands in the audience. Xiaoxian said in a low voice, "You shared a great deal, motivating a bunch of people." This original twisted like a ripple, and the eyes of the whole school lit up. Yizhen felt the inner change, from a low-key girl to an exciting leader. At this moment, she was full of sea. The commendation ended, the team scattered. Yizhen walked on the forest road with her book bag on her back, the fragrance of osmanthus flowers sniffed, and the sunlight fell. She touched the guide on her chest and thought to herself, all of this, starting from a rainy day, knowing that she is like a lieutenant partner, helping me avoid small troubles and forcing me to face big challenges. In the past, I was afraid that it would bring pressure, so I would use it or not. Now, it is the key to growth, allowing me to become the protagonist from the side viewer. The community is full of passion, friendly support, and romantic sparks because it lights up. Looking ahead, maybe universities will continue to explore, travel to Taiwan's mountains and forests, and even take Guanting to Kaohsiung to see the sea. But no matter what, youth will never fade, and our adventure has just begun. On the way home, the bus was swaying, and the scenery of Taipei Street was flying away outside the window, and Yizhen was still savoring the sound of commendation in her brain. When I opened my home, a familiar fragrant noodles with pork noodles were filled with fresh meat. My mother looked at the kitchen. Daughter is back. Hearing that the social champion, the campus group has been published. Dad stood up from the living room and smiled. Yes, our Yizhen is making news. Hurry up, dinner greetings. The hot dishes at the table, Mom's red fish, Dad's fried water spinach, and extra cakes. Yizhen sat down and shared excitedly, Dad, we won. From the school to the Yilan Mountains, we turned against Zimo's lead, the monkeys were chaotic and the wind and rain collapsed, all depended on the team. Xiaoxian encouraged everyone, Guanting, to help those who were busy carrying the wound. I decided. She went to the foresee in detail. It is just called straight looking. Dad and Mother exchanged their eyes, and her eyes were red. Daughter, Mother thinks that the social crisis is in danger and is afraid that you will suffer. I didn't expect you to become so brave and proud. Dad patted her hands. Dad used to be a stable job, but now I understand, youth dreams are the king. To win the championship, please have a big meal. Let's share more in the future, and we support you to continue exploring. Yizhen's heart is as warm as a soup, thank you. I used to be very stressed and I was afraid of indulging in expectations. Now, balance is good. Family is the backbone, and society is the wings. Dinner laughed constantly, and my father heard her commendation story and laughed loudly. Yizhen shared that part of the story, and the principal was very proud. Our family has the leader. At this warm moment, Yizhen felt that everything was full, and growth was not only a community, but also integrated into the family, and the foundation of youth was more stable. After dinner, Yizhen slipped back to the room. It was dark outside the window. She lay on the bed, and she felt alone in her heart. Her ability to know her has turned from a mysterious burden into a gift. It made me foresee the rain, rocks, monkeys, and taught me, the future is not determined, but shaped by decisions. In the competition, I learned to use it to help the team, not to swallow it alone. When confessing, it gives me courage and sends that letter. The phone changed, from the label of an ordinary girl, to become a hot blood leader. Xiaoshuan's friendship, Guanting's love, Miling's guidance, and Zimo's transformation are all the treasures of youth. Looking forward to the future, or after graduating from high school, we will travel to Yushan and continue to take risks. The story is full of passion and blood, but the road is still long. At dusk the next day, the sunset at the campus playground dyed the red sky, the fragrance of osmanthus rose and the sound of the ball continued to rise. Yi Zhen was walking on the road of Lin Ji with her empty book bag on her back, feeling as light as a wind. Guanting appeared from the corner, and his angry smile roared, "Yi Zhen. After the commendation, will he take a walk?" He stretched out his hand and his palm was warm. Yi Zhen tapped his face and turned his hand. "Okay, from the game to the present, our exploration continues." They walked shoulder to shoulder. Xiang pulled up the shadow, and his hands were like a lock of youth, with passion and blood in love. Xiaoxian snatched her hands from afar. "Hey, too. See you from the community tomorrow, and a new adventure is waiting." Yizhen smiled, and her heart was filled with endless possibilities. Youth will never fade, together we will conquer more unknowns. As the sun sets west, the campus lights are bright, and their pace is moving forward quickly. Terms, 1242.